All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. Mbona lazima uharibu hii introduction zako za piga man? Kwani umemaki tumeanza ukasikia tu. Welcome to a very special edition of the Kisiangani podcast. We have an amazing guest here tonight. We have people on the background. Venye mmeona hizo shati sana tukasema wacha msikie tu audio leo. We have the CEO officer counter officer
in the building.
Mr. George Waweru.
Nione hapo nyuma.
Hiyo trao once upon a time ilikuwa black.
Ini ya officer mwenyewe huko kwa nini. Kingia nini ndio kunapewa ka uniform.
Yeah, Bashir Halaiki in the building.
Woo, Bashir.
And Tuta Karaoke in the building. And Eugene, our special guest maze in the building. Wagwan bro.
Ndio maana umeita special episode.
Special episode ni juu yako maze.
Wang'ombe in the building.
Kuna msali kwa niambia, I think ulinikola kwa nisho hizo ni like jina za Kikuyu za kitambo hizo Wang'ombe sijui Wairuguru like hizo like ni true
so,
ama
ni kweli so history ya jina Wang'ombe ni excuse me, so kulikuwa na some famous warrior who was a double agent in the Kikuyu and Masai culture, so alikuwa na operate between the two na alikuwa betrayer of course. Alikuwa na betray either depending on like the highest bidder. And what he's best known for is looting. Alikuwa na loot a lot of cattle na madem. In fact kuna one article nishaiona online ilikuwa inasema he was fond of looting cattle and booty.
Booty.
It was his duty.
Where is the beauty?
To be looting.
So nasema you come from a long lineage of booty looters. Unajua there's a lot of strength. There's a lot of strength in a name.
Tuangalia hapo kwa warrior. He's a double agent.
Booty warrior.
So he's a double agent.
But alikuwa anapenda nyuma sana.
Double agent.
Hey, that's dope that you have that history. Hata Miss Jiskia.
Mimi nimejua about that. Like kuna hizi kama wewe Kinaga, that is not a common Kikuyu name.
Mimi pia sijasikia jina.
Okay, una story ya Kinaga ulikuwa unangoja?
I think Kinaga alikuwa counter offer.
Kinaga. In the Maumba.
Alikuwa double agent.
Alikuwa triple agent. Nyone kwa your heart hapo nyuma.
It's actually a common name in Nyeri.
Yeah.
But nimeisikia sana nikisema jina langu ni Wang'ombe in Coast, watu wanafikiria either mimi ni Mtaita.
Wataita pia wako na
Wang'ombe.
There's a Wang'ombe in Mtaita. Alafu in any other place within the country nikisema jina ni Wang'ombe.
Taita buti ita.
Assume ama Luya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bullfighting.
I don't know. I think pia Waluya wako na Kisangani Waluya wako na jina
wako na wanyama. Wang'ombe,
Waitina. Wang'ombe is like, I thought it was something to do with like herding and herders.
I think that name just came about because of the guy actually doing the cattle rustling between the Masai and the Kikuyus.
So when you say he was a double agent, like was he Kikuyu and then he'd go and spy on the Masai?
Exactly. He was Kikuyu, he used to spy on the Masai, but he also knew, he was one of the few people when you alikuwa najua Masai as well as Kikuyu. As a like spoken language.
Yeah.
So are you related to that warrior ama hiyo jina ilitoka ulipewa tu?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't think I've delved deep enough to know whether I am or not. Yeah. And I don't think it would be of interest to me. Like we're living in 2025. Hey, we have other problems.
To the past.
I think booty is always gonna be an issue.
I think cattle wrestling is always fresh in my book.
But anyway, the introduce vizuri by the way to the, I think you were here, was it last year? But hata hukukaa sana I think.
Nilikuwa napitia tu. So jina mshasikia. What I do is many things. I'm a jack of all trades. Software engineering,
cattle rustler.
Okay.
Bado sijafikia hiyo stage.
Booty looter.
Bado sijafikia hiyo stage. Actually hiyo stage nilishapita.
Ngosha nini? Double.
Okay. You're behind that.
Okay. Hiyo stage nilishapita. I'm a father.
Oh, nice.
Shout out by the
mechanical engineer by interest, but pure interest. Electrical pure by pure interest. So kila kitu ninajua about mechanical and electrical nimesoma tu online. And hopefully Kenya's next biggest automotive manufacturer.
Guy. Check it. So you know my grandfather was called Wang'ombe, and Wang'ombe means the biggest electrical booty eater. Guy, your grandchildren are gonna be so proud of you. Shout out to you.
Yeah, we are in it for generational wealth.
Venye ulitoka hapa, were you a father then? Ama like is the child name? But like alikuwa kwa tumbo. Was it planned by the ama?
Yeah, planned.
Very nice. Well, I think when the first person nimesikia like you planned for most people, most of my friends ni oops like
watch it happen. Ateki happen, watch it happen. The reason for that is whatever you're going through in your life, okay, let me backtrack a bit. Kuna beshte yangu wakati before I got married, kuna beshte yangu aliniambia he got married early. He was like I think 27 hapo hivi.
Yeah.
Because it becomes difficult to make that decision the older you get.
Probably, very likely.
And it makes so much sense now that I am married. That si uongo, like ukiangalia huko nje mademo wako. Ukiangalia huko nje kuna all sorts of temptations.
Think ni vumbi
tu
na maguns.
So hata watu hii au sio wakituambia ati youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
Don't take that piece of advice lightly. Make sure you actually using your energy correctly in the right places. So for me naweza sema it was a planned decision because of those things that were already riding in that kind of information that was already riding in my mind. So nikaona whether it's planned or not, wacha mtu yakam, wacha wakuje wakiwa wengi hata. It doesn't matter because by the time nafika in my 40s I would genuinely want to be concentrating on something different, not running after a toddler. As we speak right now I have constant backaches because mtu wangu anatembea. At the height she's at, you actually have to like bend over forward slightly to like try and pick her up, kumguide wakati anatembea, vitu kama hizo. So hizi ni vitu surely unataka kudeal nazo ukiwa in your 40s. Just do it early.
If you can
do it early. Yeah, if you can do it early.
Yeah.
But I was at your wedding and I think pia Ken, shout out to Ken ako hapa nyuma. Venye akona warembo wengi sana alisema hataki sura ionekane hapa.
Ndio.
Yeah. So we were there and it was very interesting to see. It was a very intimate. I think tulikuwa wase wangapi? Like, was even 10 kweli?
Tulikuwa less than 50. Tulikuwa about 40
like her parents, your mom was there, your small brother. Yeah, I think her sisters were there, a couple of your friends. Like, how did you negotiate all that? Because me thought lazima sijui rorashio, alafu sijui pre-wedding, alafu pre-wedding, alafu sijui wende
kubwa ya
like how did you simplify
at the end of the day you negotiate because you're a grown up. Hakuna mtu anafaa kushow kitu unafaa kufanya.
Like even her dad.
Nyindo mlidai hivyo.
Walikuwa natusumbua na hizo stories za marora show at some point, and then we were like ikitu ina to stress first of all.
Yeah.
Na something maybe I don't know whether it's spoken about but I've never had it is wakati wasi wanapanga rora show na ma wedding, the couple is under immense stress constantly. The couple is constantly fighting but you guys don't know about it.
Yeah.
So si tulikaa chini tukajiuliza mbona to go through all of that na tunaweza chat our own path. If there are any fines to be paid they will be paid. So bado tunaendelea kuishi, doesn't matter. Fines ziko like hata ukikosea kwa barabara utapigwa fine.
Kumevunja mbuzi mguu
ama kuivunja. Okay.
No. Okay. Hiyo inamaanisha
anajua
si inamaanisha ni like getting the like a kid before but you got the kid after you married.
Ndio nasema saa kuvunja.
She was pregnant during.
By
the time we were getting married bado alikuwa mtu yeye alikuwa what maybe 8 not 8.
So alikuwa najua ako
on the way.
So basi ulivunja
ama mguu inavunjwa saa ngapi?
atemesema nika double chance. According to custom I think you kuna fine hapo but
I think at least ulikuwa umeishika mguu kiasi.
Lipa fines. Lipa fines and then you avoid all these other shenanigans that happen in the.
So you didn't go through the whole thing, Rashio,
no. Even if it is waiting, even if it is waiting for me uko mbele, at least right now mimi nafanya vitu zangu in peace. Get.
Was your mom
my mom was cool. My mom even recommended that I don't name my daughter after her.
Oh, why not?
Because kuna unajua hizo stories za kubeba hizi vitu za what is it called, generational curses. Hizo vitu she believes in them so strongly that she decided not
to. She just said you name her what
you
want.
You just name her what you want.
Okay.
Sini wetu ni sawa.
Wasaperenge wa kwa givo.
My mama anakuaga freestyle. Okay, maybe kwa watu wenye hawajasikia swali ni kama nilikuwa nimeplan kuname mtu hii after the mom. And the answer was yes and no. Hii conversation nili have na madhangu way before I even started dating my wife. So it wasn't something new to me that I had to discuss with my wife so much, and she was on board with the idea that we shouldn't name our children after our parents. Just name them whatever, but give them strong names.
True that.
So hiyo ni like when you umesema like is it a Nyeri thing ama, because I'm trying to understand like Kikuyu culture, like that culture of like even if you're a boy, like your name, you take your mother's name, like is that a thing ama?
Like if you're a boy, you take your father name. Like
I've met a lot of Wanjik like they're men but the surnames, like the surname is from the mom.
Hiyo kitu huwa ina work, but me I didn't grow up with my dad in my life.
Okay.
So naturally I would have been called Mudhoni. But at some point my mom was like, you're not gonna go down that route.
That's to end the cutting, wrestling and booty looting.
Endelea kwa tu the warrior that you are. So
hiyo jina yendo ali come up nayo basically the Wang'ombe one ama is it a family name?
Grandfather, sorry.
Grandfather. Okay.
I mean, ironically actually didn't have that name. I don't know why I was named like that, but
he didn't have. I could give you maybe I thought why. Like my dad is called Karaoke, but my nephew is called Mwangi, because Karaoke is a name for someone who has Ryoka. It wasn't his actual name. Someone who died, and then because he couldn't be named what he was named Koryoka, like to rise again. So he was supposed to be called Mwangi. Siki Judas ama Lazarus. But yeah, maybe that's why. So maybe that's was his original name, Wang'ombe. That's why.
Yeah, makes sense.
Afu hivyo unasema dudes having Kikuyu sana, mimi na kwanga nimerank sana hiyo form. I even say Kikuyu wanakwanga, the Kikuyu tribe wame stand out for that, in the sense you can actually acknowledge your mom as your son, which is not a thing that many people do in other tribes.
I don't think inakuwa kwa any other culture.
Yeah, but not so many proud Kikuyu, like meaning whoever.
I think someone was telling me like I don't know how true this was. I think maybe it was SK. I think he was telling me like during the Mau Mau and all that, like a lot of now the dads and then he went missing. So like a lot of children grew up in like single mother households because of that entire situation, and then now there's the issue of now alcohol and I don't know what. So like it's like and then even like the structure of the Kikuyu is like very matriarchal. You get because I don't know any other tribe yenye inafanya nini.
Kikuyu are actually matriarchal, a bit matriarchal, more matriarchal than patriarchal. Yeah, makes sense.
Wewe jina yako sanemi yako ni Kinaga na Waweru sani jina sa yako
ya budangu.
So jina wewe hauna jina yako?
My surname is Kinaga.
Jina yake ni Waweru.
Kuna jina ya buda yake na grandfather yake, like hata me I think about that a lot. I'm like okay, my name, like jina yenye niko nayo ni Basir. Yusuf is my dad. Like so if I'm gonna like have a child, like
ntamuita Maria Bashir.
Yeah, Bashir is a good first name. It's not a good son.
Last name.
Yeah, like maybe
makes sense.
So mtoi wako ataitwa Waweru.
Yeah, okay. Hypothetically.
Angeitwa
kama Waweru.
Okay. Since I have you guys here, let me learn about the Kenyan culture.
Counter nini officer kuna story ato.
But sometimes it's off to try and learn about culture from our generation, because we grew up at the time when wacha niseme at the height of 844. At the height of 844 ni wakati tulikuwa tunachapwa in primary school for speaking any other language apart from English.
Mondo.
Like we never really got to learn our mother tongue because of the schooling system we went.
Yeah.
Well, me I did.
Ulikuwa ucha.
Okay, mi nilisomea Nairobi. Ulikuwa ucha, of course.
Nilisomea Nyeri. Sasa umetoka Nyeri? Unaona tushani hivyo bro. Mimi ni wa Atlanta, Georgia. No, I don't think schooling, I think venye tu culture mtatu venye utafunza.
So yeah, mi nili grew up nai all my life. So and it wasn't really like my mom wasn't really, not that I'm bashing her, but she wasn't really into teaching me.
She wasn't speaking to you in Kikuyu?
No.
My parents used to speak in Kikuyu, but us we answer in Kiswahili. I wish we used to, maybe we'd be better at speaking it now.
Yeah, my parents used to speak Kale to each other, but to us it was Kiswahili. Yeah. So I never understood that. But I think tulikuwa na SK ndo alikuwa tuambia hii story, because SK is very like me, like I think anasema like ana follow the teachings of Ngugi wa Thiong'o kabisa. Like I remember they were doing a Kikuyu comedy show.
Nini alicircumcise yo mara 3.
Nani? Ngugi wa Thiong'o.
Kikuyu he was.
Na mjue foreskin ni moja, so
ile alicircumcise hadi hapa kwa tumbo bro. That one alitolewa ngozi.
Alipewa C-section.
D-section.
But you're saying hiyo kwa unasema like kuna point yenye tulikuwa tumefanya like someone's ability to speak English ina speak more about their intelligence, their sort of social class, like their wealth kiasi, which is not true.
Yeah, it's not.
It's quite reflective of the person themselves.
So are you actively teaching your daughter like Kikuyu? Do you know Kikuyu?
Kiasi, but
unasikia?
Na of course kila mtu mwenye anaongea mother tongue. No, first of all, but kila mtu mwenye anaongea mother tongue yake, kila mtu mwenye you unasikiaga Kikale lakini mimi siwezi ongea. Mimi nasikia Kikuyu lakini kuongea ina sound like off. And then there's this other thing where people tend to like bash you about mazeyo Kikuyu sounds weird, so you actually stop speaking it. But you should also consider that mzungu mwenye anaongea Kiswahili ataongea na accent ya Kizungu.
True that.
Lakini you won't bash them mzungu.
Yeah. I feel like you trying is better.
Yeah, you trying is even better. You could put
than not even for speaking at all.
For sure it's better.
Yeah, please embrace the people who are trying. A lot of people.
No, but mzungu anajua lugha yake bro.
Yeah,
first of all, sio yake native yake.
Like
so wewe kwanza
that's the native. It's your native and you don't know.
Yeah.
Aren't you trying now that you want to try?
No, trying is of course, I can't bash trying.
You was so bash trying.
Sometimes effects zenye tuna experience azikuagi of our own doing for sure. Kama kutojua, we are just victim. Kama kutojua language yako, okay, I can't blame anyone now that I am a grown up, but beyond a certain age you can't blame anyone for your problems. They're your problems.
Yeah.
But
it's your responsibility.
Now it's your responsibility, but up to a certain level kulikuwa na guardian, ulikuwa na mzazi. Ama well kuna watu wana wazazi, but now that one I can't speak about for sure.
But uzuri kama una wazazi unaendanga ocha, so at least unajua kuongea
nini. Bado kuna influence.
I think hata uko in a better position.
Unajua sometimes usiamini vitu zinazotoka kwa mdomo umse. Like anazisemaga so casually like yo.
Kwa hivyo offers wako better place.
But now this is the thing though, the hypocrisy of like Kenyans is msee akiongea Kiswahili ama English and then asheme. Tutamuingilia. We uongee your mother tongue na uongee na accent ya Kizungu ama nini, tutakubash. Like hakuna like both sides, there's no like if your mother tongue was your first language,
Yeah.
it's gonna influence your second language.
Yeah,
So your
utasema.
English it's like Jojo. Like
Yeah.
Jojo Shokali ameenda US, but hiyo accent ya US
Ni
iko
yake hiyo.
US through like Kirinyaga, like ni unaweza tell ako ka accent chini wa Nyeri, si ndio? And then sasa kama English was your first language and then you learn sasa Kikuyu, like utaiongea in like so both ways bado ni mbaya, like tutaingilia tukuite kienyeji juu unaongea English vibaya, alafu tukuite ati we ni bontao ati sijui ume discard sijui culture yako, like there's no
winning. Speaking of hiyo kushema, sijui mbona boy fulani kamzungu kanaongea, I think he was taught by a Kikuyu
Kiswahili.
Mbona katuika mzungu man mazi kanashema yake
kanasema mazi anaongea kama
kanaongea tu msewa mtaa, kanaulizwa kwani ulitoka Germany? Asikuwa si nimekuaga huku tupatane ile siku.
Maze for real. Kamsika ka blonde hair tu.
Hajatoka Germany, ametoka Germany.
Kutoka na hapa juzi.
Kutoka ile siku uliniacha sisi tulikuwa tu hapa. Imagine.
But again, kids are not born with knowing any language.
Yeah.
Environment.
It's like an empty
sasa
flash.
ameshika hivyo sasa hivyo.
But mimi nimeona most ni like wazungu wenye wanaongea Kiswahili na accent ya Kiluya. Kama Papa Jimmy. Kuna mwingine tena anakuanga LD.
Ule mwitu msungu mwitu.
Like wako wengi sana.
Walikuwa wameenda huko missionaries ikabaki tu hivyo ndo wataongea.
Wamejaa sana. Hadi kuna mwingine anaonaga TikTok, I think ako US. But anaongea Kiswahili na accent ya Kikost. But pia anaweza ongea lugha sijui kama unaona msem big hivi.
Inategemea tu na pele
ni fascinating sana.
Yani mimi na disabingi mind. Sasa kuwaona in person wakiongea Kiswahili. It disturbs my mind. That's why. Walami hata kuloga na mchinku fulani by the kadem kalikuwa naimba gospel huko Kenya. I don't know if you remember a couple of years back. Dem mchinku alikuwa naimba wimbo za gospel in Kiswahili. Lokia bwana lokia. It disturbs my mind.
Balaka zemange.
Hata mzungu anaongea Kisapere. Sijika mshamuona kimake rounds.
I think wamejaa. But me I feel like your story like we quit like your language, like your proficiency to language, and I feel it's a different type of mind, like a different part of your mind that is responsible for language. Like so. Me I'm smart in most things, lakini ikikuja kwa language like I siwezi even to save my life, like to learn a new language. At the same time I've met people like my mom speaks like Kikuyu, Kale, a bit of Kamba, Kijaka, like she has that, like Missina.
I think it's a muscle that other people have more.
But funny enough ni muscle yenye unaweza anza kutrain at whatever age.
If kama uko na hiyo psych. Kama uko na hiyo psych. Mimi ningana nikae katikati ya Wajaka leo, Mr. Soma Kijaka ama or German or whatever.
It depends on what motivations you have for using the language.
I don't have the psych to learn is a thing.
Ukiingia gym utajua Kijaka na Kiluya. Automatically.
I'll try that.
I'm gonna live with that chuma.
Hey guy, anakuambia maze utrain hiyo maso. Strong Omera. That's crazy man. But sasa I think I've been on your ulikuwa na podcast are the videos still out ama
the videos
ulifungadi videos ukaweka kwa
the videos are still up.
What's the podcast called?
The podcast ilikuwa inaitwa The Post-Nut Conversations.
Okay.
But contrary to the name, we weren't really talking about sex or the primary topic was never sex or almost never sex.
Ilikuwa tu ni lazima ukue umenat before ukuje.
Ukue tu sober, unakuja una speak your mind. True. But kuna wasi wenye wanaweza get
no. It's not ni sex. What do you mean?
After nut.
It's the afterwards. Maze mnaangalia na hivi mnaanza kuuliza.
But I get the premise ni like it's a clear conversation.
Like, it's a clear conversation. Hapo ndo unaulizwa what are we?
So post-nut ni like pillow talk ama?
Yeah, it's pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
Okay.
So she asks you what are we, you answer
I'm
we are
sorry, siku
sinners.
understand when ulini invite, siku najua that is what you're supposed to be doing.
Ulikuwa ni lazima mparticipate in the pre-nut.
Mbona mi na handle the pre-nut peke yangu? Kwani you're not a good host?
Nasema mimi niko side ya clarity.
Niaje basi maji uko sawa, so ingia tu kwa hii room kiasi upate some clarity kiasi. So ulipiga how many episodes?
Tulifanya I think
okay, by two you had a co-host.
Nilikuwa na co-host.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Emma Mbiro.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out.
At some point our lives diverged because nikifanyaga podcast I was in a different time of my life. So nilikuwa na motivation ya kuifanya juu sikuwa na kitu kingine ya kufanya. And then in between nikapata job yenye niko nayo sahi.
Okay.
Alafu tukadiverge to na ilikuwa just like maze we can't continue like this.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable for either of us.
Yeah.
So tukaiachia tu mali iko.
Yeah. But also that I think after umalizani, like you moving to Mombasa was a big reason mbona ulini the
not really.
Yeah. Like ungeendelea like ulienda Mombasa juu ya job ama juu ya
mimi nilienda coast cause ningeweza kwenda coast. Like kama
so juu ya job?
Not juu ya job. Job ilikuwa completely different. Mimi na work remotely, so kama una work remotely mbona unaishi Nairobi? Hiyo ndio ilikuwa logic yangu. Yani you can live anywhere, why Nairobi?
Specifically Kino.
Specifically Kino.
I think Kino ndo ilikuharibia Nairobi.
So nikaona why, and I've always wanted to move out of Nairobi. I've grown up in Nairobi, lived here, always wanted to move out. Na course ilikuwa inanikalia the best place cause kuna time nilikuwa nimeenda coast, just one of these visits zenye mtu anakuaga unakaa tu kwa one weekend alafu unarudi, but of course utajipata kwa beach. And one of the things zenye sikuwa na expect kuona ilikuwa a very young family. Just buda, wife na mtoi wanacheza tu kwa beach. Na hapo ndo nilidecide mazemi I want that. If there's anywhere I want to raise my children, it should be in such an environment. Na wasi wa coast chill.
Beaches.
And
sorry, actual beaches.
There's white beaches, ukienda Malindi there's brown beaches with spring with glitter. Shena Malindi kuna beach sand ya Malindi na kuna some very interesting glitters.
Tafanya Manu mazee ende anzishe hii podcast tuko mazee. The Kisiangani podcast.
Malindi edition.
Chikimanoki interview ma octopus. Okay, welcome to the Kishingani podcast. As you can see, we are here. Tumenasa kubwa. Leo our net has come.
Umeshika poeza.
Kama utanipiga sub. Cause watu wakusikii the whole time. Uko na sai kuja hapa ingia.
I'm morning you.
We kuja
mazee. Kati kuja hapo ingia. Counter officer. Relax. Kisiangani.
I'm morning you.
Wewe tutakuwa tunapiga marathon. Msana anapiga 10 minutes tuna exchange. Hata Ken atakama piga story.
Karibu man.
Welcome mazee Manu.
But I'm morning.
Welcome to your own podcast.
Bana.
You guy, my sis Maze RIP.
Sorry man.
Millie Wanjala, you guy.
RIP Millie.
She was a very nice lady. There's a time she used to live in Coastal actually. Yeah? She used to work for Cargill.
Cargill is a food company.
Logistics.
It's a logistics company.
Yeah.
So she was older than you, yes?
Yeah, by like 3 years. So what she was the same age as she's my half sister, right?
Oh yeah.
So my dad had 2 daughters the same age.
Okay.
My dad was a major interesting man.
At the same time.
The timing is impeccable.
Guys receiving I'm pregnant phone calls at the same time. Check hello. Hello. Ai, hebu ngoja wewe. Take it.
Kwa simu ya jamii.
So you guys maze. You know I also have 3 bros who are the same age.
Like literally the
They're
same.
all born in 1986.
Your dad was in 1968.
Check my dad. Let me dash somewhere. No, I can't spend the night.
Sidani alikuwa anafunga belt
Na hivi nakaa
naisia tu hivyo.
Guy heads out maze to the next location.
But you guys, sorry about that, man.
Yeah,
But shout out to you. Unajua alipata the news jana just before we did iko nini. Like he did the entire 3 hours like knowing this news.
But the third hour was hard, you guy. Moaf is Moaf maze, you guy. That guy was chomoing new questions. Cheki, finally kuna story fulani hapa ya msemo mwingine anaitwa Sergeant Mosquito. Umesikia hiyo story? Haya, kama hujasikia wacha tusikie.
You know me, I could see the tab. So I saw maze bado unaona kale kanini hapo kakuscroll naona bado kuna space hapa chini.
So maze kama hujaisikia utaisikia hapo. Cheki, so unafikiriaje hii story? Cheki. Sifikiri sahi hiyo kitu.
Shout out to you maze. Tuliongea about kuchapa for 1 hour 30. And I'm on.
So the reason we didn't tell him was we knew it'll make the podcast deep.
Yeah.
So we told him at the end, Mazali, choke. He really choked. But you guys, the last hour, I don't know if you noticed.
I mean, nilikuwa naacha maze.
I'm thinking about my own things. That is rough, man.
That takes some level of professionalism. I think there's someone who, like, I think was a news anchor or something, and I think just received a call about like their loved ones dying just before they got on air, and akaideliver too bad.
Bado alipiga show
hata nani udemu ya Joey alikuwa anaitwa nani? Jackie, yes. Siendo alikuwa anapiga hiyo news bulletin ya boy wake kuwa involved in hiyo mada.
Yeah. That same evening.
So I think that she was finding out at the same time all of us are finding out.
Maybe she did it passionately because she was there.
Do you the madam at the news?
Allegedly. Check, a man was caught cutting the throat of another person and bleeding. The blood even hit my clothes. Sorry.
Edit that information in here. Haiko kwa hiyo news bulletin. Sources say.
Check it. The woman is now dead. Check it. No, but RIP to that lady who died.
The last one nimeona ni unaonaga hizi ma sketch hizi zenye ati sijui unakaa chini na an artist alafu unaulizwa the suspect alikuwa anakaaje. So the person mwenye ana present hiyo news na hiyo sketch like ni umse the same person literally. It is a kupiga chenga mazee.
Wewe bana, so where do you guys figure this saga ya Mombasani?
No, kuna muuliza like motivation yake ya kwenda coast ilikuwa gani? So he was telling us about the young family
and the beaches.
So bado ulikuwa single.
Bado ulikuwa single.
And then you just so you figured let me
No, at that time nilikuwa nishaanza kudate. By the time nilikuwa na Hama nilikuwa nishaanza kudate.
Na wife alikuwa demo wa coast? That was interesting.
That must have
so was it like a discussion like should you come here where I am or okay pause pia?
It partially it was, but me nilikuwa nisha make up my mind that I don't want to be in Nairobi.
Why?
Nairobi is a tough city. Why do you guys live here? The only reason people live in Nairobi is because it's the economic center of the country. But if the economic center was distributed, people would be anywhere, everywhere. Let me give you an example about Mombasa. Something that I noticed recently. It's our main port where we receive goods, tourists sometimes.
Yeah.
But why isn't Mombasa developed? Like vitu zenye zinaingia Mombasa zifai kutoka Mombasa straight zinakuja naye. Mombasa should be one of the biggest retail cities or towns or wholesale towns that we have in the country, but it's not. Vitu zenye zinauzwa retail huko hivi ni magari mostly na spare parts. I get. But kuna other vitu zingine huwa zinakuja huko TV.
So what do you think the reason is?
I to be honest I don't know.
Are there any other port cities which Dar is a big city, right?
Yeah.
Is it a port city?
Yeah.
There is Lagos, which is also at the port.
Yeah.
Cape Town.
Vile zinakaaga like hata ukipull up photo ya Dar sahi vile inakaa like it's like a Miami level kind of architecture, you know.
Okay.
But in coast, what's along the coastline? It's just hotels and people's
resorts,
homes. Resorts and people's homes, which makes sense because of the tourist aspect of it. But then again,
there's
like
more
there's more to coast than what people
just
actually
tourism.
Maybe the locals wamelala ama?
hiyo nayo ni kweli.
wakwangi na
Hiyo nayo ni kweli.
Juni mchana.
Mazee shops hufungwa.
Sikujua
Unaweza kuwa tao mazee umechelewa tu
What's up with that,
kidogo
by the way?
unataka tu kuingia kwa shop hivi kidogo wanasema pana boss tumefunga kuja kesho and it's 5 exactly 5
naona
5
kwa
what?
11
pm
anasema ukamkesho.
wewe kama kesho pana tumemaliza job.
Damn you
like
guys.
that is actually true.
Sasa kuna do hapo kesho.
But so unaona culture yao like culture ya Waislamu
Waislamu
hai
ama
promote
Costarians.
no culture ya Waislamu like Muslim as a religion and a culture. Let me call it a culture for sake of this argument. Sharia law inaku I think it kind of prevents you from getting money more than you really need to. You get
greed.
Your story agreed. So mbona ukwe hapo beyond 5 go spend time with your family.
Like even interest is haram.
Even interest is haram.
Like even
borrowing
if you go
money like loans.
If you go to India at lunchtime, most of those Windis wamefunga hizo mashop zao to go and
They
worship their gods up in the back.
Yeah, they take their name serious.
All right, let now when Mutiso bow down.
But they don't force you to follow their religion.
Okay,
they just give you an equally lengthed lunch.
Yeah. Us guys don't funga the shop for anything, you guys. I have a pal downstairs anaitwa Kevo, Maze that shop does not shut. Hata Yesu akirudi bado watakuwa wanauza madawa. Cheki Yesu kuna headache.
unataka maji
Sinners wamekuboa yake yote. Cheki kuna mara moja.
Cheki mko na kitu for these holes in my knee.
Let me give you healing balm. You get that guy then shut that shop ever, man. But I think there's something about okay, I wanted to use a wise thing, but shutting down. You get like that, not being greedy. It's as if
it's more of a quality of life thing, really.
No, as in there's a way, you know, the way you do less and achieve more. It's like that theory of
do one thing. In Miss Jaitembea, okay, places few that nimetembea in this country, sijaiona bakery that is like a franchise. So unajua Fires?
Yeah.
The Fires bakery. Man, I don't understand it, but all they do is just sell bread. Well, confectionery cookies nini. But they're everywhere in Mombasa.
Oh, okay.
Unaweza patata branches in Kilifi. How? Hawana M-Pesa hapo kando.
That's what
they focus on one thing. Kuna msee pale they call it Chuda, but
Chuda.
ni Tudor and then they say Chuda
anaitwa itakuwa shameless plug sijui biryani ya Amo something. He only opens at like 1 p.m. He only sells biryani, mutton biryani. By 3 hiyo biryani yote imeisha na ni zile sufuria kubwa zenye tulikuwa tunaserviwa food high school.
Now how much is a plate?
400 bob.
It's a kibanda style?
It's a kibanda ski.
I've seen her the page on TikTok.
Biryani ya Amo, something Amo's biryani, something like that. That guy only sells biryani. Like he's just focused on one thing and one thing only.
So doing one thing helps, huh?
One thing helps, man. He puts all your energy in
but now guys are trying to supplement our income with porn.
Which guys?
Kwa hii studio imeimprove.
Kwa hizi wewe nilikuwa na shaka.
Take haya, toa hiyo sign ya Kisiangani na hizo mapicha. Haya Agnes hurry up, I have to go to work,
Agnes ndo camera woman. Bruno ndo actress sasa.
labda Bruno.
I hope I never see this couch somewhere else than this podcast.
It's a mistake ni kala.
But that thing either works or it doesn't.
What they're focusing on one thing.
Specializing, because you can specialize alafu upitwe na wakati. You get what I'm saying?
Like biryani mazee hizi pitwa na wakati.
First of all ni food. Like
wakati umeisha.
Hawezi anza kuuza biryani at 5 p.m. because for shit utapata customers. For shit utapata customers.
So unasema the culture there is a bit chilled. But then again, maybe also government, historical issues with land. Many of these Gava guys are the ones who own the beachfront properties. You get? Kina Jenga Karumen. Unaona hizo ma beachfront. Leopard Beach. Most of the mega assets are not owned by local Costarian guys.
Okay, that makes sense. and then there's this other side of a lot of land yenye inaoniwa coast but inaoniwa na locals. Na ni locals toka kitambo, ni zile land za inheritance for instance. But right now they are selling it off, especially side ya Kilifi, mostly
but
because
they sell alafu na kama na katakata baadaye bana. Let's get the story.
Yes,
there's a Muindi guy who bought land uko Kilifi maze. They really came back and perpetrated him baadaye. Check it.
Yeah, interesting.
You know about those stories?
Maybe
it was an
he had some
isolated
shady
incident.
things that he did to get that land, probably. If it was a large size.
Because
Maybe it was public land.
guys,
Yeah, maybe it's not common.
most guys, like I said, sheria leo kualau kupata tu do hivi.
No, but do the guys uko ndani, see there's the Swahilis at the coast and then now they're the Giriama, I don't know what tribe.
Mijikenda.
But then again, it's just like the colonialist came wakati influence na English. Wase wenye Arabs wenye land coast Arabs wali influence na Muslim influence. So a lot of people there, well there are a lot of Christians as well. A lot of people have also been, let me say, indoctrinated into being honest when you're doing business.
Okay.
Yeah, just be honest when you're doing business.
I think it goes back to what you said, and the thing I realize about Islam is there's the religion, but now the culture is stronger. And now the culture is tied into the religion. Like if you look at Somalis and like everything they do is tied into Islam. And now when you go to coast, their influence is Arab. So they might be Mijikenda, and they're not even Islam, but like the Islamic culture is really big. So that culture of honesty, like, that is how things have always been done here.
Kuishi pamoja. I think one of the things that, one of the culture shocks yenye nilikuwa nayo ni vile nili move to coast ni wasi wa boda ukitoka hivi kwa gate wanakuja hadi mahali huko wanakuuliza boss unaenda. Naye ni wewe utembee mpaka kwa stage.
I think which makes sense because sasa nitakuja nikuulize kama unaenda alafu uendi.
Neither here nor there ama.
Kino anakukujia.
It's Kino.
You can waste fuel going to ask guys if wanaenda ama. Yeah, but check waenda. Oh, wendi haya. Check waenda wewe. Wendi.
Unajua nduthi haina reverse.
They don't mind ukiwaambia no. That's the other thing that we notice. Like wanasema ama kama uko na msi wako wa boda, mshaongea na yeye unamwambia okay nashuka hapo chini. Ndio kuna ule mwenye atakukimbilia alafu mwambie zina ngoje ule mwingine. Si catch hard feelings. Ataenda tu pale arudi kwa stage ngoje the next person.
But wasiwa Uber of course wanasumbuanga you guy.
Hiyo nayo ni kweli. Ukiwa coast usichukue Uber. Prices
they don't use the price there. Check imesema ngapi?
Inflated.
Siwezi kupeleka na hiyo bana. Toa thao. Sawa cancel basi.
Hiyo nayo ni kweli. Ukiwa coast just try and get around with a motorbike or a tuk-tuk. Utakuwa sawa ama mat. Utakuwa sawa.
But the guys who are rich in coast are rich, right? At least these
are in fact between kati ya Nairobi na I'm sure you've been on Instagram uko na hizi makasho zenye wasa wanaendanga and it's just full of G-Wagons, all types of luxury cars.
Yeah.
There's more of that in the coast than here.
So
are the guys it's not flashy. It's not flashy at all. Me the most again because of the culture. Me the most number of G-Wagons I've seen in this country ziko coast. Ziko huku.
So is it money from the port biashara? Ingiza ma ship.
Kuna that like what's the primary economic activity ya coast? Kuna
drugs.
Fishing.
Kuna unga. Kuna unga.
There's the white.
Cheki Kenya nataka kufanyia hizi vitu. Nataka kununua gari.
Ila basi kuna meli.
Unake wajua. 001
madini.
kuna hizo vitu haziwezi kosa. Hizo vitu haziwezi kosa. But kuna magari zinaingia through coast. Wasi wanaona hizo biashara ni most of them they are family businesses. Kuna shipping itself, like the logistical aspect of shipping. A lot of Kenyans actually own most of those companies zenye ziko kwa port.
There's a guy who used to come to a comedy show. I don't know if you remember. Ulikuwa nakujanga nini? Dao House.
You
remember a big
Muindi guy?
Muindi African guy. That guy used to be a guy of shipping. He used to tell me mazesi moja atupeleke huko tuangalie hizo
tupige spot huko.
Tuingie huko hizo maship. Ati kuna moja alikuwa ameleta imejaa sijui wheat ama kitu kaa hiyo you guy. Damn.
alafu coast nilikuwa naambiwa na someone who's lived there for quite a while na amework kwa port kufanya hizi maneno za tracking, that you can make money in such silly ways. Like unaweza kuwa supplier wa fresh water at the port. Fresh water is big business because coast mostly hata boreholes are very
salty.
Not even necessarily salty, but ziko na a lot of minerals. So unaweza make do in very simple silly ways. Of course there's a lot of capital involved, but once you shall get your foot in the door, as with all businesses, it's easier to make money in the coast than in Nairobi.
Yeah. I'm quitting this port niende kuuza maji hapo kwa port.
Mbona uquit? Unaweza ifanya ukiuza maji hapo kwa port.
Check it. Kuna boy wetu alikam kwa port.
Guy unatumanisha container ya pod you guys kupigania.
Tembea tu nayo.
How about these stories about guys doing a lot of sijui wana keep manyoka kwa nyumba, some genie stuff? Urogi.
Me personally see believe in witchcraft.
So neighbor wako hiyo nyoka iko kwa kichwa yake ni nini?
Believe.
Si believe iko hapo.
Jackie. Si believe.
Unasema believe but unajua ni
but umesikia hizo story.
Hizi story nimezisikia na hizi vitu ni
superstitions.
I would call them weird. I wouldn't call them witchcraft. I would call them, it's a weird thing to have a snake in your house and it's just roaming around.
But what are the stories you had though? An anaconda
pet python.
There's a chick who hang out with the last time with Coast. Ulikuwa sio? Ule dem mwenye alikuwa anatuambia hiyo story ya
ina depend story inaenda wapi tunijue kama nilikuwa
aliambia kuna nyoka.
Sikuwa.
She was telling us the way at guys go and swim alafu majini yanakuvuta.
If you've lived in that culture long enough, those are the stories that you're gonna
ungia kwa maji unasikia tu mvutwa bana.
Mvutwa.
Cheke mimi. So unavutwa na miguu ama na mikono?
Unavutwa na waves you guy.
Yeah, it could be the waves or ni weird umesema hivyo because just today I was telling my sister how I met a Costarian guy Kitambo who was giving us a story. Njoki, ule mwenye akomtoa livi George.
Maana nini? Okay. I wanted to
utaweka picha yake hapo kwa video.
But ati kuna msikosa nasema ati kuna majini za forest, kuna majini za dark place, kuna majini za maji.
Kuna majini za majini.
Kuna majini za majini.
Na paka yenye inapita ni Mama Amina.
So you might ingia some water, to maybe some still water.
But kuna undercurrent.
Okay, yeah, there is undercurrent, which and is the scientific explanation. Majini. But do you think these guys confuse that undercurrent with kuvutu? Because actually it's scientific. Umeingia ukavutu. There are so many stories of guys drowning in undercurrents.
Yeah, the scientific kuvutu, that's for sure.
Ama those undercurrents are caused by majini.
Ni collab ya.
Check you guys, check it.
You now is beyond me. I cannot speak about it.
Mimi vile nasema there is.
Hizo stories sijazisikia pase ama sikuzi encounter.
But also maybe you don't hang out with enough locals to get those stories in your conversations.
There's that there might be that aspect too. But even the ones that I interact with, they don't maybe hatujafika hiyo level ya so jana ilifanya nini.
But also you're a scientist, some sort of mechanical. You're logic.
Me I'm logical.
1-0.
Hakuna kitu unaweza ona sai. Me these things sai.
But do you believe in that stuff? That's interesting. I wouldn't think you.
I believe it not at
because she's a Rastafarian.
No, I've never heard her say such things.
I don't believe at then hata mimi nitafute daktari nimtafute kuku ya black sema hivyo, but I believe that these things are there. Kuna supernatural powers kwa hii dunia, mama mystics za hii dunia that we can never fathom.
That is true. I guess it's a thing between science.
Weka huko coast
science and faith.
Who umesikia nini?
Me have been told a story by my mom but it happened to my dad's cousin or something like that. Na ni story mimi za mimi.
Alafu aliambiwa na uncle yake grandfather ya nani.
Mapaka hapo zilikuwa involved.
Hii story imekuwa passed down mazee through generation.
But mimi naamini vitu zingine. Mzee alikuwa na bar fulani. The manager used to collect the money ilikuwa inachukuliwa alafu inakuwa kwa gari ya mzee alafu anaenda nayo. On that day your do got lost. they tried to look for that money. Kumbe si one of the workers ndio ameiba like apeleka kwake. Someone came and gave him that dawa to go look for it. There was a packer that kept following him, ingia the car. Check eventually umse alitoa hizi do na bado sio aligongwa na gari ama kitu kayo. Yani
wait, hiyo paka alipewa na mganga ama?
Sijui hiyo paka
ati paka ilipita mbele ya gari ya nani?
Paka ilikuwa kwa hiyo compound kwa hiyo bar. It kept following that car like this.
Which car?
The car that had stolen the money.
That had the money in it, but the money was stolen from.
Okay.
Yes. So eventually wakaenda tu kutafuta the guy who had told it and featured it in his cage somewhere. Walenadi huko and they could, I don't know, the packer was doing things. Mara the packer is there, Mara it's not. Check it, me there's things that I believe.
I mean history yako honestly.
In my shags
curiosity.
So them ilionyesha nani amekuleo do. Acha nikwambia saa nyingine, hii ni for sure. Ameenda kazini ya budangu, ameenda coast.
Kazini ya budangu.
Alikuwa anafanya kazi, yes. Alikuwa anafanya kazi na nini? Na kwanza boy anakaa gashagwa exactly. Huyo kazini ya budangu anakaa gashagwa exactly. Mdomo and everything. So
gums
everything. Suti tu ndio kaana. He went to the coast, alikuwa anafanya na G4S. Wakaenda coast yeye na sawa kiwa yeye na boy wake wa G4S. Sasa umepostiwa kwa siku ya kwanza sasa kwa tujivinjari kwa baa akakunywa mavitu nini. Madem fulani wakamkua katia. Boy wake akakatwa na dem fulani na wakabaki na yeye akaenda kudoze. Asubuhi unajua alipata boy juu ya mti. Na huyo boy ajui vile anafanya boy wake. Alikuwa palm
but tumetoka kuongelea madresa hii hapo hivi
uko juu ya mti.
Hiyo ni ya simulator man.
Dem alikupanisha juu ya mti.
Hapana, unaweza kulipana due to temporary insanity induced by something yenye ulipatiwa.
Kama boy yangu fulani alijipata tu anavunja wasee ololua.
Magari
kidogo wako kwa jela. Hiyo ni kwa spirit zingine normal.
From my perspective there is enough randomness in this universe to explain everything, but because we lack enough understanding, the limited understanding ndio tuta apply kwa hiyo kitu kwa something that looks weird.
But wewe hujaona ni wewe umeambiwa story.
Me personally
hata message encounter any
hata mimi
cat,
but
if kenye nime encounter ni hiyo kuvutwa kwa maji. Because kuna time nilianguka kwa kisima. Alafu hii kisima ni like the main kisima kwa hiyo village, so maji zote za hizi kisima zingine, so back then me nilikuwa dhani anavutwa na like spirits, na anyone else mwenye alikuwa ameanguka hapo at the same story. Utaingia mara ya kwanza, you come back the second time, the third time now, so because it literally has an exit huko chini. So me I felt like I was being pulled. Na so kani ningeendelea kuishi hivyo without researching hiyo story yao sijui undercurrent. I would have sworn that anyway I was being pulled.
Underground rivers.
I heard about some white, I don't know if it was a white guy. Do you know these guys who explore caves? The guy was in gang, like then he quamed, you guys died up inside the cave like this.
And they couldn't retrieve
nati party incident.
But what are you looking for huko ndani?
Sasa wakiona hii space hapa hivi mazee sasa wanataka kuingia hapa katikati ya cushion. Simbi.
Amesema something ni wazungu, that explains everything.
But it has advantages and disadvantages. Number one, you can quam in a cave. And then another one is you could also find mad gold huko ndani yake.
But then unaweza find some treasure that the world has never seen.
Check it kwa cave, check. Bro, easy cobalt.
And I don't know why I suspect the reason why wengi wananunua mashamba Kilifi because of
minerals.
They think they could mine something.
Kama there's this company called Base Titanium. Polo Kimani alikuwa naiongelelea sana hiyo time ya maandamano ya last year.
Yeah, I remember those spaces.
Hadi alikuwa anasema kuna airstrip imetengenezwa sijui wapi.
All those things
I think it's true.
It's true, all of those.
Because there's no one who goes to monitor those guys who ndani.
Hapana.
Yeah,
except
doing their own thing.
So you guys would you have an option of moving back to Nairobi? It depends on the money.
No, not even the money would bring me back here.
How long have you been there though already?
3 years.
Alafu unakaa Kilifi ama?
But Kilifi must be
quite au kuanza ukiishi Kilifi.
Nilianza nikishi Bamburi, which is in Mombasa.
Bamburi is also, if you're not disciplined, you can be partying every night.
That's true. Bamburi is one of those places that never sleeps. Unaweza toka in the middle of the night utapata some certain Kamau selling bread. huyu akufunga 5.
You guys, there's another day I was in some club. I've forgotten the name, but it's Kondani at a petrol station.
It was called Mint.
I think it's Mint.
Mint,
Iko na POK. Sindio? Okay, usikubali.
Persons of.
So anyway, so zuko maze.
Overability.
I was there with who was I with, by the way? I don't remember.
You guys misikuwa na. I was not there.
I think nilikuwa na. I don't
George.
remember though. Take George. So maze, I'm over there, then I see some chick, then I walk towards her to salamia. Then some guy says, "Wewe bana unde mwangu wewe."
For real?
Yeah, so he pushes me. So me, I'm like, why are you pushing? Like, so you know, it's a club.
Like
what my thoughts and what I'm saying out loud is, why are you pushing me? You get? Sema, hujui nimefanya nini na mchana nimemtoa mbali, anaishi kwangu, ametoroka.
Hey.
So kidogo that chick walks away.
Wewe kwa trauma zake.
So me, since I don't want to lose my teeth, even me I stand kando. Then after like 30 minutes I went and told him, "Hey man, what's happening?" Then he tells me, "Suji, that's his chick. Amehepa anakukata kurikwa keja. Sijui ana ubaya, but dem amemsumbua." So I'm like, we have nothing to do with that, you guys. And that chick was just uko ndani kando, you guys chilling.
Amekata kwenda home.
Maybe that guy is a pimp.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be.
But mbona akatae customer kuongelesha nini?
Sim labda umsea kwa anakubali kazi ambayo madam allegedly alikuwa anafanya. Yeah, manze. Hey, but you guys survive me. Can you imagine kuvunjwa hiyo kwa club?
Kwanza hata hujasema kitu. You didn't even say nothing to her.
To breathe the wrong way.
So unavunjwa outside working hours, you guys.
Wait, but also rents are pretty reasonable, huh?
Yes, for sure.
For a nice digs.
Yeah, for a nice house. And then the thing about let me start from here. The thing about houses in Coast is that they are intentionally designed to be big. Because of air circulation.
Like high ceilings.
High ceilings, space that
big
is around
windows.
you. Like ukihama from your bed sita in Kino and the Coast, for sure you have an empty house.
Unaishi mansion.
Kila kitu imekaa kwa corner kai studio yetu.
Na bafu na chozi kwa kando.
Damn.
I know.
Unasema sasa Kilifi.
Kutoka Kilifi hadi Nairobi daily inaweza kuwa how much?
Tunapiga pod saa ngapi? Because tunatoka Kilifi in the next one.
Sijui itabidi umechukua kuna hauwezi fanya daily.
But kuna wase wanaishi hiyo life for sure.
Kuna airstrip Vipingo which is not so far. But wanna fly only on Thursdays if I'm not wrong.
I think they fly once.
But you guys, Vipingo, that area is now the new Nyali. Like watu wanahepa Nyali wanakam pale Vipingo hiyo stretch.
But and since they're not paying me, I'm gonna say the truth. Vipingo is overhyped.
Vipingo, the original one ama the area?
The original estate.
US store, yeah.
US store nimeingia.
But kuna makeja kali.
Iko na makeja kali sana, but why you spending your money there? Man, you're on, first of all, so there's the coast line on the right, and then sasa kuna mainland yenye iko on your left. I would consider them being divided by the Malindi Road, which is in the middle. Sindio? Vipingo is on this side. Alafu wanakuzia shamba $400 and something $1,000 for an ocean view, na ocean unaionea huko. That doesn't make sense to me. Go and take that $400K and put it on a beachfront, of which utapata. Hauwezi kosa beachfront Kilifi.
Especially if you have $400,000.
Na utajenga nyumba serious. Maybe
but neighborhood, you guys, quality of life, bramas.
Neighborhood.
You guys, you want serious neighbors.
Niulize na 350,000 USD yangu naweza pata nini huko Vipingo?
So unapata something like maybe an acre of land. Of course watakuzia all these sprinkle things like security. Mind you, umebuy shamba $400K na bado kuna $400K na bado kuna 150,000 Kenya shillings service charge annually.
Damn.
Umenunua kwa hujanunua. Mbona
unalipisha hizo money?
Yeah, that service charge is crazy.
But see, I think I saw like if you own land here, like you own up to, like they draw a line, an imaginary line up to the sea. Like that is
you
all
that
yours.
Vipingo place kwa mlima huko.
Vipingo is actually on a hill.
Oh,
It's actually on a hill.
Also you're seeing the ocean huko chini.
Unaona ocean huko chini, na between the road na kufika kwa ocean there's another like 2 kilometers. Hata uko second row. You're not even on second row.
Baki up.
Hata si fourth, hata si uko happy.
But also with climate change, maybe it's a good idea not to be next to the ocean, man.
But hiyo nini za teremka bado?
Nini?
The hill.
Your hill inaweza landslide.
Eh.
But before you landslide, maybe
Siko
the
karibu
ocean
na the
ita
ocean.
nini.
Okay, me I don't know that
But
mathematics.
we are
It's not even maths.
Geography.
si tuko fortunate enough kuishi along the equator, waka place yenye hakuna, okay, maybe tuna deal tuna mosquitoes, but we don't have many
I was gonna tell you about
geographical
that.
issues. Geographical
Even
issues.
weather disasters like tornadoes and sijui fucking tycoons.
But the cause for sure.
Typhoon, okay.
Vile si ina rise. Alafu even the time there was that tsunami, the big one that killed like 200,000 people, look hivyo, you know, also one person in the coast died because of the waves.
Because of the waves, but so on hizo waves by the time zilikuwa zinafika huku zilikuwa so dissipated that if that person was a statistic, which I'm saying is a not.
His, yeah.
Ilikuwa a small percentage.
It's a very small
Na maybe alibia boss wake do.
Alafu
Labda paka ilimfuata.
na paka ilimfuata, you know.
Imagine
Ilimfuata.
nikwambia story ya mosquito,
You know,
because ndo shida ya huko,
Yeah.
because they do have the endemic
But mosquitoes za Mombasa mazeni.
Atakangi mchezo.
Kuna hii dengue virus.
Kuna dengue, kuna hiyo sijui
Na one chikungunya.
Sasa unaona vitu kaa dengue virus na come about because of environment yako ni chafu. Place una stay ni chafu.
So the virus itself.
The
So
virus
issue si mosquito, issue ni the virus.
Mosquito kule tu
Mosquito si mbaya, ni zile virus zinazozunguka.
ikikuuma haina kitu na kupe mbaya. Ikuume
That's
tu.
why unahitaji kulipa service charge 150 a year, you guys.
Utapata hiyo mosquito mazee itakomonga 150k yako mazee in one bite.
Vipingo Ridge would be the last place I would buy land. Maybe,
Has it been fully developed?
no,
Maybe it was
there's a-
hype also.
You
know, have you ever driven in there lately?
Yeah, I drove in there. Okay, not lately. Let's say 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's lately enough.
Okay,
Like
sawa.
what the plots like occupation looked like.
Occupation like
full.
kila mahali kumejengwa.
Oh,
Places
okay.
shamba zenye hazijajengwa maybe ni cause okay, they don't have a very specific reason. Maybe tu msea kuwa interested in the view. Wase wako that vein in Vipingo. They're not into that view haiwabambi, something like that. Or it's not big enough, or something very interesting that niliona uko ndani msa anajenga hao, and then you see these big ass boulders of rock msa anaziship from wherever nazileta nazieka hapo hivi, so that's his landscaping.
Wow.
Na each of those rocks probably weighs maybe 10 tons. Anakuja na crane anazieka, no put it there.
Why people like this? Is
I think if you have some ships.
Yeah, ship a rock, yeah.
But ship a rock.
But if you study the guys who live there, it's just this kina Kalonzo, like the guys who have properties there, allegedly kina Joho, like the who's who. These guys, in fact, there was a time guys were saying during, I think it was some post-election time, they were saying these guys are fighting over here in public, but their neighbors who go in Vipingo.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, they'll just get a chopper and go there.
Even the general who passed away, was it last year?
Ogola.
Military Ogola. He used to live in Vipingo.
For real?
Yeah.
The original one?
Yeah.
Me, if I get cash, I can live there. Yeah, true. If I podcast, wase wanafaa kusubscribe ndio nihame huko
Hebu
Esa.
subscribe ini. Tutaishi huko si wote. Tutaishi si wote
Subscribe.
Mazee will be
Kisiangani pod.
picking, you know, our each digs every other day. Chikileo tupige kwa George.
Shameless
Oh,
plug.
tupige hapo kwa nini? Nice, mazee. Have you talked about your project? Your Muti?
Not yet.
Amjaongelea kwa iPod. Sini nduta.
So
Yeah, alisema ya future.
So last year here, did we talk about it? Last year here,
very lightly.
you are planning to do it.
Planning to talk about the
No,
project?
to create that thing. The last time you were building it.
Yeah. So tukianza unaweza rewind uanze tena ndio to increase minute watch time hapo hivi. So I have had interest in automotive engineering for a very long time. The industry is not developed in this country for sure. Other companies zenye ziko around kama Mobius wali close shop.
Only close.
Mobius wali close shop last year.
Well, Mobius
So waligongwa na taxes zingine na KRA wakashindwa kuzilipa kwa declare.
That's why they did that.
Why would they do that for their own thing?
It's KRA, man.
But Mobius manufacturing, I'm just redoing some Chinese car.
I think
At some point they started
making
redoing.
it from scratch.
doing the Chinese car.
Originally,
That was
yes,
made
yes,
from it.
yes, yes.
But now they're in the wrong. Okay, they're in the correct market, but they're selling the wrong product. The reason for that is there's no way you can compete with an SUV from Japan or an SUV even from China, or from Britain in terms of capabilities.
What would they have done instead, do you think?
Focus on a market that is not
Saturated.
You can't get into, you can't start building cars and you're building saloons. Nobody will buy them because okay, engine ya wapi au ni ya Toyota, okay, we can work on them because people are thinking maintenance. And for me it's never been a point of consideration whenever I'm thinking about buying a car.
Yeah.
Just buy the car that you want or the car yenye mfuko yako imefika. Hiyo ni sawa. And the reason for that is comfort. If you can afford it, just buy it.
And the Mobius wasn't that comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of rugged.
And Chinese just relabeled car and then they put it on the road. Of course, again, you can't compete with and then the selling price was a bit high because it's a 0 mileage car. And then you can't compete with a Japanese, like a Toyota for sure, which are all over the place. Mechanics know how to work on them. And then that's another reason people don't buy certain cars. If you can't buy a Volvo, I would definitely advocate for it. Yeah, even to this, Volvos are nice cars, VWs are nice cars. But anyway, I digress. So I'm in the process of building an automotive company, but I'll only focus on the sporting aspect of it. Because there's no one else doing sports cars in the region. That's East Africa per se. I think I need some more.
Ukona nini? Soda yako iko wapi? So by sports cars you mean cars, like what would be a car which would give an image of what you want to build? Like Subarus, Subaru,
no.
There's Evo. Like what such cars? What type of, when you say sports car,
I'm focusing on single seater, single occupant vehicles.
Oh, right. So it's luxury, like Lambo.
That's even dual occupant.
Oh, okay.
Go a bit higher up on the scale. You find yourself in something like a you find yourself something like a Formula 1 car.
So that's the direction you're looking at, like.
I'm looking in the direction of motorsport.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Safari rally.
Yeah. I get you now.
Yeah. Rally not.
Nini?
Unless it's a buggy. You know what a buggy is? It's like a
dome bike.
It's the open.
just that open vehicle. Has good suspension travel and you can go into the dunes.
So the guys of go-karts pia. Okay.
So what's the market for that?
I don't know yet. Which seems stupid, being that it's going to be a business. But vile mi naiona ni market ya spectators ni kubwa. Wase utoka mbali kuenda Naivasha kukwama kwa jam. Kuna magari zikipita hapo for 2 seconds. Na get. I could do that just with cars that run on tarmac instead of gravel, for instance. So mimi nataka kufocus on your market juu pia, apart from the interest aspect of it, kuna a lot of engineering talent that is being squandered in the country, for sure.
Yeah, I'm on podcasts.
Why is this nigga doing podcasts?
Why is this nigga
editing videos?
Changing the world.
Editing videos. Na si ati nimesomea mechanical. Again, everything najua nimesomea tu online, because at least kuna free information. And being the connected country that we are, most engineers tend to lean more towards software. And the software market in Kenya right now is very competitive, especially with companies like Microsoft and Amazon. And then they tend to cluster just in Westland, so that you live somewhere close. You live Kinos, you live where, and then you come to Westie, you carry your backpack every day, wear your college jacket and walk around in town and feel nice. They just make you feel nice, but they don't make you really achieve something for your life. Yeah, so in fact there's a couple of students in UON and Strathmore who are doing an interesting program called a Formula Student program. So Formula Student is students from different faculties, say mechanical engineering, electrical and software. They band together, form a team to build a car, to build a race car. And then in that race car you are judged for things like how did you use your material, how heavy is your vehicle, vehicle waterproof, what was the cost, budgeting, so hata wase wa biz, wase wanafanya BCom wanaweza ingia hapo kufanya stories za marketing, procurement ni vitu kama hizo. So it's a very extensive thing that allows you to enter into the industry already knowing what to do in the industry. So mechanical engineering students, I had the let me call it is a privilege, because they allow me into their space to actually brainstorm with them with these kind of things. They were recently in course doing their, I don't know what it's called, it's not called a site visit, it's called a engineering tour or something like that. So walikuwa wameenda KPA, Kenya Ports Authority, wanaingia kwa workshop and there is nothing happening that is, sparking the interest of this young mind. There's of course a machine called a lathe that is running, but what part is it making? It's making a shaft for a ship. I want to design the fucking ship. I want to design the car from the ground up. You get? And that's what some of these students are actually trying to do. Now wamefika mbali, by the way, in maybe, by my estimation, maybe in 1 year they'll have a car rolling.
For real?
So that Formula Student.
Yeah, Formula Student.
But where do they get the money for putting together the parts and stuff?
Surprisingly, putting together a car is not that expensive. It's expensive if you're thinking about putting together what is it called? A factory. Because of tooling. Tooling is expensive. But when it comes to low volume production, you can go ham even with the kind of material you're using. You don't have to worry about cost that much. So they have the advantage of having the school backing them. So kuna hiyo funding yenye wanaweza get from the school. But also what tends to happen in Formula Student is they get sponsors. Like you can get sponsors for them, they're building an electric car. So not even hopefully, I am their sponsor for the electric motor.
Sponsor!
So I am the sponsor for the electric motor, which is something that an electric motor that I've designed from scratch. Everything from the ground up.
Cheki finya hiyo kitu.
So approach yangu ilikuwa, some of these things are not readily accessible in the market. Like electric motors, if you try and buy them, the market that is selling them is mostly in Europe or in China. But if you go to China, they'll ask you to buy volume. And if you go to Europe, they're something like an electric motor that is about this size. It costs you something above 5,000 euros.
Damn. That's like?
It's like
maybe 700,000.
Ulemewanga na maths every time kuna hesabu.
Hiyo hata demi ya kitambo huwezi pata na hiyo bei. That's just the electric motor. You haven't bought the controller, which is another cost. You haven't fabricated your chassis. You haven't done your suspension. You haven't bought the tires and whatnot. So my thinking was, okay, how much does it cost to actually build an electric motor from scratch? So I started designing one, did the electromagnetics.
So you design on there's a software for
so
sketching.
I design primarily on, I almost don't want to say because it's a pirated software.
Design na MATLAB.
It's a 3D modeling software. So I started off on FreeCAD. This one I can mention because it's a free software that anyone can start learning. It's called FreeCAD. You can get it on Ubuntu, you can get it on Mac, you can get it on Windows. Just start designing stuff and you learn it eventually.
So basically CAD is computer aided design.
Yes, computer aided design. I think I'm going ahead of myself.
Computer aided
so which
design.
enables you to build a 3D model, experiment with it while it's still in soft copy before you go into production. So the last time I was here was over a year ago, and that time nilikuwa naongelelea something that I'm already building hardware for, which is the car that you saw on the YouTube channel. In fact, you can go on my YouTube channel, which is Huskberry Engineering. That is HUSK Berry Engineering. You'll see the entire build process of the first car that I built.
Hey.
But let's go back to where
You are choring that thing.
Yes.
So you chora it. I'm trying to imagine the things that you're saying. You chora part by part, and then there's a way they come
so
together.
You draw them part by part. You describe the dimensions. You describe the depth of them.
Okay.
You describe their material, what they're gonna be made out of,
okay.
and then eventually you move on to assembly. So you assemble all those individual parts into their respective positions.
So do you have to buy each part separately?
There are some that are duplicated. Some that are duplicated in that they, like in an electric motor, you have something called the cores. So that one you can just do
Just
like a
copy and
pattern.
paste.
Just copy and paste. So you at least unajua it's sort of like a volume production. You unaeka kando in your bill of materials. And then there's other things that are more one-off. Some parts that you're maybe making out of carbon fiber. That one you have to fabricate internally.
So how do you know how to make this thing? Did you study another engine? Sorry, I'm asking very basic questions.
No, it's a basic question, but it's very important for everyone to know. Everything that rolls around on the road, that you hold on your phone, was designed by another human being. If you decide today you can take apart your phone and look at it. So it might not give you information because some of the components are very small and you might need a microscope, but each one of those components usually has a part number on them. If you Google that part number, a data sheet will appear, and that data sheet will tell you everything that part does or can do. So when I was starting out, of course I was a bit discouraged by the price of an electric motor, because that's the approach I wanted to take. Take an electric motor from here, take a controller from here, put it together, build a car. But the cost was a bit discouraging. So kitu nilianza kufanya ni just look at whatever they have. They have data sheets online of how their motor is performing. They have data sheets of the weight, the kind of current and voltage you need to put into the machine for it to perform, to get certain performance metrics. They have everything online. Use that as a foundation for whatever you're building. Just use data sheets for whatever foundation you're building. And then from there is when nilianza experiment. Eventually at some point, wakati nilikuwa na experiment, I had to buy a 3D printer, just so that I can actually hold this thing and see ikitu inakaaje. Does it look right in real life, ama ikikapo hivi kwa computer inakaa it's all glamorous?
So you're tinkering with this stuff during do you have a day job?
Yeah, I have a day job. But I'm tinkering this stuff during 3D printer. It takes a while to come up with the part, so the part could be printing while I'm coding.
Oh, okay.
So there's a hybrid kind of vibe going on hapo katikati. Yeah.
So how long did it take you now to put the thing together when you were making that initial engine?
It's taken me a while. It's taken me like 3 years and it's still not done.
Hey.
For that initial, the one we see you driving around?
Oh no, not that. That took me maybe 4 months.
You made a car and you drive it around.
Yeah.
This is deep.
Dudes, people are looking for it.
Yeah. You sorry nakubamba?
Yes.
That's nice.
That's dope.
No, but that's really cool. You guys, this is the deepest podcast I've ever done in terms of maths and engineering.
Yeah, engineer.
First of all,
I'm really working hard. Check it.
I'm so proud yenyewe unauliza hizi maswali.
No, I'm actually.
Akona maswali interest.
What's happening? Are we good? What do you mean? Unataka kurudi?
Actual engineer.
Yeah, man. So now that first concept, what do we call it? A concept car?
Well, a prototype.
So it's fully electric.
Sana hata.
Yeah? It's fully electric.
It's a fully electric go-kart. Go-kart tu vile mnazijua mnaenda kuonesha pale ku ride pale go-kart. What is it? Red Hill karting or pale Whistling Morans Carnival. It's the same thing but it's just electric.
So it has a lithium battery, or what does it use?
Yes, it has a lithium ion battery.
You got lithium battery.
You guys umetoa wapi kwa rasa?
No, see, lithium is better than like the previous batteries.
Yeah, lead acid batteries. Hizo ndio zenye bado ziko kwa magari zetu za kawaida.
So is lithium like the latest electric battery that guys are using?
It's the most energy dense. So what I mean by energy dense is that it can store a lot of energy in a very small space. So when you think about density, like the density of water is only 1 gram per cubic centimeter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then
nigga inadandia cheki cubic.
Yeah, true. It's per cubic.
No, is it per cubic centimeter or millimeter? Must be millimeter.
Centimeter. Yeah.
Okay. So
but yeah, it's the same. So if you
my engineer.
it's the same.
Okay, and then when you go to something like steel, it's 7.81.
So meaning you can store a lot of energy in a smaller container.
Yeah, you can store more energy in a very small container. That's why lithium-ion batteries are in everything that you can possibly, that is electronic and is portable.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 2 kilowatt hour battery. What kilowatt hours? By the way, wacha nijaribu kudebunk kitu. Hizi vitu zenye watu wanaitaga units, ukieka tokens. Those are kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours is a measure of energy. So for instance, if give me that
it's idea vibrator. Thank you.
So
no, so lithium ion.
This speaker, assuming, uses 1 kilowatt of power for 1 hour. That is kilowatt hour. So that's how much energy it would need to run for 1 hour. To run for 1 hour.
Okay.
Itatumia hiyo unit moja. Exactly. So kama itatumia 500 watts, which is 0.5 kilowatts, ita run for 2 hours. And then it continues to scale, but it doesn't scale indefinitely, because you can also go the other way in reverse. You can balance tokens.
Mimi najua the things which mumunya tokens are like instant shower.
Instant shower.
Tunafaa kwenda nia kupiga
kama hiyo ni makelele mo. Yeah, instant shower na
microwave, yes and no, because microwave ndio inaweza kula steamer, but it does it for a very short period of time. Because the energy aspect, energy is given an extra dimension when you add time to it.
Yeah, energy is
power is given an extra dimension when you give time to it.
Power is given an extra dimension if you add time to it and convert it to energy. So at least you can store energy, but you can't really store power. Power needs to be flowing. It needs to be flowing. So the but hiyo ni kitu Ruto aelewe. Power needs to flow. Hiyo ni kali you guy. You cannot store it.
Also have a store energy.
You cannot store power. It needs to keep flowing.
Yeah, that's dope.
What
is that?
Token meter.
So
ni GoPro.
yeah. So you're talking about your lithium battery. So how long did it last on a charge for the initial one?
That's the other thing about electric vehicles. That question is not usually correct. How long does it last?
Okay.
Because when you turn it back to when you're looking at kawaida vehicle yenye uneka mafuta, that's not the question you're gonna ask.
Yeah, you say how long will it?
How long can I go to? How far can I go with this? Yeah, so that's usually the correct question.
I get you.
Yeah,
So
how far
the
can I
range
go?
is
The
more
range is the
question.
question that people should ask. How long?
Ni go-kart.
Maze, it sits one person.
But if you stuck,
Suspension.
Hata ina suspension maze.
you're going with that cut.
So the range, what's the range?
So I haven't had a chance to test the range that it could possibly go because I also need enough runway to test it. Runway yenye nimekuwa nikitest hata mkiangalia kwa
video.
kwa video YouTube channel. I'm just testing around the estate.
Hapo
Kwa lami tu.
Kwa lami.
Ujakuwa kwa rough road ama kwa kichaka.
Nilijaribu. The ground clearance is too
Oh, it's too low.
so
Okay.
nina tu kishika kila mahali.
Oh, okay.
Ideally you should just have flat level ground.
Ama uteka miguu kubwa.
You can.
Yeah, mademo anakuwa practical sana.
You can by the way, you can change the tire size and go a bit higher.
Ama you put suspension and make it higher.
Ama you just ask the government to build better roads.
Kenya, like the possibilities are endless at this point.
So Eugene, this is a question I get a lot of the time nikiwa kampo, and it leads to the question yenye utajibu now about weight. Like
Why are you gay?
so the question yenye tulikuwa nauliza every time ni why don't we have like an electric aircraft? I mean they are like at a smaller scale
Because
but for like you understand the weight aspect of now having like enough lithium batteries to now have a range of like 10,000 kilometers.
Let's go back to the energy density conversation.
Yeah.
So lithium ion batteries can store a lot of energy in a small space, but they can't store a comparable amount of energy as fuel that you actually burn.
Engines.
So fuel I think fuel hii ya kawaida ya regular yenye tuneka kwa gari has something like 33, I don't know if it's 33 kilowatts per liter if I'm not wrong. I can't remember the correct name, but it's an absurdly huge number compared to batteries. Yeah, so batteries, in fact for me, as much as I'm building electric cars, I tend to find batteries to be quite a limiting factor to the build. I mean, we've come very far with the technology of building them, assembling them, whatnot, but the limitation always comes down to the weight. They're too heavy. They're dense, yes, to store more energy, but then again, if you increase that density, it means that
More weight.
it's a linear correlation with the weight.
But
yes, they require cooling, so they require additional auxiliary components to manage them, because a battery can't exist rather when you're using it can't exist in isolation. You need to manage the voltage between a certain range. So for lithium ion batteries, that tends to be between 4.2 volts, that's fully charged, and 2.8, that's 0%. 3.6, which is called the nominal voltage, ndio 50%. Mazi uko intensely concentrated.
umse I get shit after hapa you guy umpe karatasi anakuangalia kwa macho, but you guy ayuko hapa. An interesting thing I think figure out ni like a good consequence of having like a higher density is you can save on space, but now the negative aspect of it is weight.
Is the weight.
Like it's the same as because mi wenda gym ka umse sinajua haya, so nikienda kuchukua teme ni mi utumia hii shit hii this ini 10 liter density ya maji ni 1. So inamaanisha 10 liters is ideally
10 kilograms.
10 nikiingia kwa gym 10 kgs dumbbell for me is nonsense. See shit.
Because it's so small.
Yeah, so you see now that's the consequence. Like the weight, the density being bigger, it means the consequence is it will save space, but still the weight itakuwa
the same.
Itakuwa big sana.
Yeah,
So
same with my
the volume is less. The volume is less, but
Check, is it big? No, it's heavy.
Take it density yake kitu ni 1. Unaona kama hiyo kitu ni 1. But if you hold it in your hand, it's tiny. But you guys, me I'm really working hard to follow this convo, to be honest.
So for lithium-ion battery, you need something called a circuit called a battery management system that makes sure that the battery doesn't overcharge, go above 4.2 or go below.
So that's why when you have a solar setup, there's a section there. That's what it does. It controls that stuff.
Yeah, more or less. Na by the way, wacheni kununua solar.
Kwa nini?
Do the solar also have a cooling system?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
Not in the way they function
don't
at all.
require them because the interesting thing about batteries is that the more power you draw out of them, the hotter they become.
Yeah.
So when you have a very large battery, you can support an entire house without requiring cooling because the power drawn is very little.
Consistently low.
Yeah.
Even if you're using...
Yes.
Even if you're using things which use a lot of power.
Yeah, even if you're using things like microwave, fridge, if your fridge is
Hautatumia zote like at the same time.
And then you're not using them all the time.
Oh, okay. So why are you saying guys should watch on a solar?
Especially the battery pack, the battery part. Batteries mnagongwa bei for sure. Mkienda Alibaba, just search for lithium iron phosphate batteries. Muangalie hizo bei and then you can sort
reverse
of
engineer the
just
price.
reverse engineer the battery and come to a price. You will find out that the price yenye the landing cost yenye iko hapa is like 4 times.
Unataka msa nunue solar na battery kando ajishikanishe.
So are you saying guys should ship in the...
In fact, just contact me. I'll help you do it for free. Not for free.
Yeah, but
I'll charge you for the knowledge, but
2 kilohertz.
But when ununua kitu at cost price. When ununua vitu at cost price.
Yeah, solar
so are you
companies...
saying the batteries are overpriced here?
The batteries are the thing that make the entire solar system setup to be expensive. You will never recoup your cost of installation for solar with these prices.
Oh, it doesn't make sense.
Solar panels are well priced. You know, even the charge controllers are not well priced. Charge controllers are like 3x the price here, and you can import that thing from China for 1/3 the price. Yeah.
So even these guys who manufacture locally, they're not able to keep the cost low. Chloride oxide.
No.
Those
are relabeled products. No.
Sorry, there's another green battery.
Those are all relabeled. Amaron.
Yeah, Amaron.
Yeah.
No, those are all relabeled products from China.
Even the chloride oxide ones.
China.
See, they normally go.
No. Chloride oxide have a
associate
here.
Battery manufacturers.
Yeah. Them they can easily retrofit their factory to do lithium ion, but then lithium ion, kama unafanya lithium ion, because Chinese have most of their licenses for how to produce these batteries, you just go to them, ask for a license, they'll give you one, come and set up here and do your business. So you can umeelewa your concept. So
are there many people actually doing that? Or
if they are allowed, no, but no.
So guys are not doing that.
No, me I'm very interested in battery technology because I would want to get into that field eventually.
So is lithium ion the highest level right now of batteries?
Kuna ile shit ya Wakanda.
Vibranium.
There's
vibranium ion battery.
They are here for our vibranium.
There's vibranium, but that's a mythical element for sure.
Yeah, kryptonite,
Platinum.
Platinum.
No, you're just mentioning
plutonium.
elements of the periodic table.
So
no.
So is it the highest level?
No. Well, it's the highest level that is accessible to the masses. Ukienda beyond that, you're talking about things like uranium,
okay.
thorium. Hizo ni vitu zenye sasa you require serious machinery to harness the energy.
So meaning hata hizi gari za Elon Musk zinatumia hizi lithium battery.
Zinatumia tu lithium.
Hata hizi pack, the Tesla
pack, which I think is silly because it's better to just use lithium ion for things that move instead of staying stationary.
Oh, okay.
Because of things like energy density. If you want to store a lot of energy, it's ideal to store it as heat, not as the chemical equivalent in batteries. The reason is heat is readily abundant. When you do wind, convert that into electricity and then store it in chemicals, kuna a lot of degradation that happens in between, because these grid level batteries, they're usually very huge, and grid requirements grid requirements tend to be higher compared to something like a vehicle. So unaweza pata steam ilikuwa imepotea, si ndio? KPLC do their thing, but in intermediary hapo hivi kuna hiyo battery imekaa hapo katikati. Hiyo ndio inafai supplement between wamewasha stima, because wakiasha stima kuna mtu aliacha light zake on, kuna machine iliachwa on. All that power needs to be, and then the electricity flows, all that power needs to be distributed almost immediately, almost instantaneously. So for them to stabilize the grid, because inaweza trip fuses zao kwa hizi ma substation, for them to stabilize the grid, they need an additional component, which is the battery, which can take that punch. So but then when you're doing that with lithium ion batteries, they tend to degrade faster. That's why solar systems inaweza last for a while, but beyond a certain point. So what is the utility factor? It's time. But for grid, the utility factor is power. You need the power for a short amount of time compared to solar, which is spread out over a couple of years. Yeah.
So do you think the future is electric, or that's just a fad?
Definitely the future is electric, but not in the way that it is being executed right now.
Just it seems to be working in theory. My bikes, Uber bike, easy and
electric but you know the thing about electric vehicles that people don't understand, especially in this country, is ndio mtazileta, ndio mtafanya biz nazo, ndio kuna wase watafanya wata create factories like sijui Basigo or Rome, which is on Mombasa Road. Arc Ampersand. Yeah, hizo vitu zote ndio, most of them come from China. But the thing people don't understand about lithium ion batteries is that they're very dangerous if you don't manage them properly. Those things can catch fire anytime. They're not. Why are they not allowed on planes? But you guys are allowing them to roam around next to you, kukuletea deliveries.
But I've never had a case of these things lipukaing locally.
Because of this word, not after a word, availability.
Okay,
no, because of
that's why your phones always to a battery is crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the idea, like safety.
Safety, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've read about phones exploding even on planes and stuff.
Even on planes and stuff. Where was I? So they don't happen because the probability of them happening is low. At least as a human species, we've managed to mitigate some of these risks, but they can still happen. So now the question.
But you could also argue. Sorry, I hope you keep your train of thought. You could also argue that fuel can lipuka at any moment. Unaona ka gari ya fuel. True.
Inaweza lipuka at any moment, but we have managed. We have managed. It's a risk. As long as you have a dense source of energy sitting underneath you, it can catch fire.
But also that's how those engines work. Like you burn the fuel, and then from that pressure now you generate that.
So you just control how you're burning the fuel.
So it's actually constantly being burnt.
So I'm just saying the risk is similar.
So now we are talking about things like runaway. Like it's a runaway reaction, meaning that you can't control the reaction. When you're burning fuel in the engine, you're controlling that reaction.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So when you come to runaway reactions, lithium ion batteries tend to be more ni ngumu kuzima hiyo moto kuliko kuzima moto ya fuel, because moto ya fuel utamwagilia soap ama sand. Lithium ion, you have to wait out that reaction to finish, so it will burn hotter longer.
Damn you guy.
kunayo but now
for real. What is that?
See, I'm trying to see who knows here.
And I don't know. I don't think no one knows.
It's definitely not
pissing
carbon
you guys.
dioxide. and it's not peaceful.
Cheki kitu inachomeka cheki.
ina connect na nini yako.
Usisiki kunyora.
You can't even funika it with a wet cloth.
Soil. Okay, tell us then.
Some white powder, some powder.
It's specific.
Or specific nini.
Like another chemical.
And I don't think everyone
Yeah, it has to be
Labda
another
ni nini.
chemical.
Diatomite.
Which might
Interesting.
not be now back to the train of
Available.
thought that I was not supposed to lose.
Okay.
We don't have the enough manpower or enough knowledge of how to deal with all of these electric things that are running around. You get like your knowledge
Like
your
the
knowledge
technical
exists in other countries. Like in the US, firefighters are well equipped to deal with a Tesla catching fires, a lithium fires. China the same. But companies left, right and center wanaleta hizi batteries into the country. Na tunata fire extinguishers
Hatuna hiyo-
right over there. You
Yeah.
get that's the problem with lithium ion batteries that I see in the country, and I don't know whether people are seeing it in the same
That's
the same
interesting
light.
because many of these battery points, like they're in very public places, you know, like there's
Kama
one down
hapa
there.
Jojo's.
Yeah.
Umeona hiyo
Exactly.
charging system hapo,
And then-
literally wasa wanakunywa chai hapo
Yeah,
kando.
Jojo's, alafu
One
Yeah.
shawarma
hapo
inapikiwa hapo hivyo.
Yeah.
if you're not at Jojo's, they're at petrol stations also.
And that put and then when one catches fire, it's guaranteed that all of them will catch fire.
And they're all in one system.
Okay,
So the policymakers, do they know these things?
yeah, it's a business model when you think about it.
Msa
Alafu
ingiza hizo
tunatafuta
mawali
msee wa
Pande ya Joe.
kuanzisha hizo fire.
unazidunga na kisu.
Unakuwa tu Reddington.
Check the lithium ion battery stubber.
Unakuwa tu Reddington. Now najua kuna mtu atakuja kwa comments asema not all catch fire. It's true. Kuna another chemistry of lithium based batteries that's called lithium iron phosphate. Those ones are less likely to catch fire.
Kwani science ngapi hizi jokes zimeanza kuwa chini?
They're being degraded over time.
But the downside of lithium iron phosphate batteries is that they're heavy and don't pack as much energy as lithium ion.
But they are safer.
They are safer, but sasa hizo ndio zinafaa kutumika kwa grid level kind of storage, vitu zenye maybe solar setup yako inahitaji those lithium iron phosphate. Ukibuy lithium ion, not only is it more expensive, it's also more dangerous for your home.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. What do you think of this nowadays? There are these battery packs. There's Eco River. You know them? It's like
Eco Flow.
It's called EcoFlow.
EcoFlow.
There's
EcoFlow. There's another
Yeah.
like a white one. I've forgotten the name. Like
I think nimeiona
kuna
pia.
ingine it was the Blue Yeti. Do they have lithium?
Yeah, they are lithium ion batteries, just assembled, put inside, alafu wameka a power inverter inside. So that power inverter is what gives you the 220 or 120 volt AC.
And then every outlet has a different rating.
Every outlet has a different rating. It's a glorified power bank.
Yes.
It's never worth your money.
What do you mean, manzi?
You guys can make a
Unless unaishi kwa bundu zuko hivi.
Upsa alikuwa ameitisha solar na Eco Flow.
No, because
Acha nikwambie.
let me tell you, blackouts really bore me. So the idea of having a gadget which you just plug
It's true.
and play.
We can talk about such setting up such a system for you if you need it in your home. Detailed information about setting this thing up. Na si ati nakugonga, wewe nilipe tu zangu za service knowledge
Mtu
inapatia.
amesoma hiki tu juu anataka.
Mimi nasoma juu nataka, si ati niliforsiwa anything. So cost is a huge factor, like information asymmetry. Unajua information asymmetry? Information asymmetry is when one party knows more about the transaction than the other.
Oh, okay.
That's why weddings cost as much as they do. That's why hospitals will charge you an arm and leg to cut off your arm and leg. Get
Hello.
You nitaitumia in my next party. Check, you know the reason hospitals use kata nimesahau you guys.
Charge you an arm and leg.
because
Unaenda huko na timestamp ya pod. Check it. Okay.
Check, hold on, I'm just getting my reference. Check, arm and
in
leg.
reality you don't know how much it actually costs to produce a Panadol.
Yeah,
You don't know how much it costs to get a hold of cancer drugs. That's why they will charge you whatever they'll charge.
Man, like my mother, it figured a point where they said kuna dawa sasa ile dawa
yenyewe.
You guys, that thing was 600 ngwizis, you guys. Damn, you guys.
Yes.
No,
Just
it was one cycle of chemo. And she needed a number of them.
So the fact that you do not know how much flowers cost in the market, or rather a big bundle of flowers will cost for your wedding, is that's why the wedding planner will charge you how much they'll charge you.
Yeah.
So your information asymmetry tunafaa kuiondoa kwa batteries, especially batteries. The reason being, we don't manufacture them in Africa. In fact, the kings of manufacturing batteries is China, I think a bit in Europe, some in India and US. But refinement of lithium, the metal itself, primarily happens in China. So mbona usinunue batteries zako directly from China? It doesn't make sense to buy batteries locally. Kuna wasi watanijamia juu information, but information asymmetry is the reason you're being overcharged for your solar systems. It's the reason you're buying these Rome motorbikes for 300,000 Kenya shillings. Well, unaweza buy hii ya kawaida, hii boxer 180 for sijui 180 to 50 hapo hivi, na bado itakuserve the same way.
But you they ship them.
Yeah, they ship them.
But you can just ship. There's no like permits you need to get batteries in.
Well, I have batteries that are unprotected. They don't have the battery management system. I have assembled batteries myself. Hakuna mtu amenikujia. Maybe wakati una import containers of those things
as
well.
A few.
Yeah.
I think we don't have the adequate knowledge then. Like I don't know which one to order. I don't know where. You know what I mean?
Just
like maybe
ask.
I'm doing a setup. Kama yenye kwambia kite instead of buying that Eco River thing. Like what would you do?
So first of all,
ningependa move into Lavington penye hakuna
move out of Kite. So I think my first approach would be try and figure out what is the comfortable level of electricity that you use in a week, not even day to day, in a week, because a day might leo unaweza tumia microwave, kesho ukose kutumia, so tutakosa tunaweza kosa ku account for the extra appliance that you use occasionally. So of course kutakuwa na buffer hapo juu. So once we determine that number, which is the amount of power you use, now how long do you use it for? Going back to our previous conversation about energy storage, you just give power an extra dimension by adding time to it. So that will help us size the battery pack that you need. So currently kuna offerings zenye nilikuwa nimecome up nazo za 5, 10 na 13 kilowatts. The 5 kilowatts, the only reason it exists on the portfolio, to be honest, is because I couldn't get small enough lithium iron phosphate batteries to reach 5 kilowatts unfortunately. So I would have to do them with lithium ion batteries. So the benefit is that the pack is way smaller and more powerful. So unaweza run whatever appliance that you really have in it. Kama ni hot water.
What?
5 kilowatt. 5 kilowatt hour battery pack. So for those 13 and 11 for instance, hizo sasa unaweza run hao yako for a week bila KPLC. Sindio? And again nitakupatia cost ya kila kitu. Tutenda hata Alibaba na yeye ni kuonesha hii ndio unafaa order. Na zita take maybe something like 2 months kukam. Zikisha come tunafanyia assembly hapa hivi locally. Ukiniona nafanyia assembly na kufanyia assembly. Ama kama unataka ku get involved in the project, make it more intimate. Come get involved in the project and we'll put the thing up together.
Do the project post nut.
Maze lazima tufanye you guys. Wewe maze. So umefika wapi na hii ndai yetu yenye tunajenga jo?
Hey, tume divert. Tulikuwa tunaongelelea.
The worst segue nimeona.
No, I'm curious.
So at the moment bado niko in the design phase. Whatever you guys might end up seeing on the YouTube channel, that was me just tinkering around.
Stage 1.
Yeah, stage 1. Okay, this thing can actually run. This thing is actually exhilarating. Like makes your heart seriously pump. and want more. It's a serious adrenaline shot. So once nimesha move on from your stage, nishafanya ground proving yangu. Stage yenye niko sahi ni a lot of 3D modeling, a lot of computer aided design, a lot of simulations. And the reason I'm going through, it's a very long process, sort of like a pregnancy, to be honest, of an elephant.
Hey, you guys similar thinking, you guys, Mazi. Guy, man, I'm an engineer now, you guys.
Sawa Sudi.
Yani kali. I'm gonna engineer, man. I have to add over here, you guys.
Engineer
Instead of S. So the reason to go through the long design process is so that something is easily manufacturable. Vile nilikuwa nimeifanya before, I was guessing everything. Now some things are not in the correct position, like the steering wheel is not in the correct position, the sitting position is not in the correct position. So ukiwatch hizo videos, I'm actually quite slouched inside the vehicle. And you actually start noticing, at least ukishafanya kitu kama hiyo, you start noticing other silly things, like the seat is very flexible, so when you're going around a corner unaenda nayo, so your seat needs to be stiff. You get, so you start noticing other things that you can't notice that before designing. So you're in that design phase. So since nishajua hizo vitu zote, nisha learn, hata sikujua nisha learn, it's always a learning process. The next stage for me is just continue refining my current model. So I have 2 vehicle models that I've been designing. One is a go-kart and one is a Formula 3 sized car. Mnaweza search to Formula 3 na tushanaje. So that Formula 3 car is maybe kwa wale kuna depth perception, it's a 2.5 meter long, 1.8 meter wide vehicle. So it's almost the size of something like a Toyota Auris, but it only seats one person and you sit in the middle. Formula style tu kabisa. So you may take the longest to design because it has a lot of considerations, vitu kama safety, because at the speed it's going to be going at, the safety aspect is quite paramount. So I'm designing for manufacture, and that is usually one of the hardest parts, because your go-kart yenye mtona YouTube, that's a one-off, but it being repeatable is usually the harder part of building an automotive company. Can you repeat this model multiple times?
In fact, I need to ask you, what do you think how Elon Musk pulled it off?
Exactly. So once you have your model, you have your product, now you need to move on to the next stage, which is designing the machine that will build the machine.
So tooling.
So you move on to tooling. Pay your stage niko. So naifanya in tandem. Both of them nazifanya in tandem.
Okay. Those are all the best, Maze, you guys. Me, I'm psyched up about this stuff, you guys.
I'm so psyched to hear about it.
You'll see. Oh, trust me, you'll see it in a couple of months.
Uzuri hii gari na seat one person, so kila mtu atakuwa na yake.
That's how road trips should be in Kitoki.
No, surely huwezi kaa hapa. No, enda nunua yako.
Enda nunua yako bwana.
So,
gari ya uchoyo has a new meaning now.
So let me ask, like, you umesema yourself to hizi vitu zote, and I remember you even consulting me like when I was actually doing this stuff, and I'm like, hey, I don't have the bandwidth to do, because I was doing my project at the same time. This guy is sending me some very aggressive PDFs, like na unafungua kitu, man, I'm like, fuck, like these drawings are they're too much for me. Like I'm like how much do you think you've invested in, because the way I'm seeing it right now, like the most of what you've been doing is R&D, just research and
it's just R&D.
Like how much do you think you've like invested, because that's a very crucial part.
Money wise about 5M
guy.
na hiyo ni R&D tu peke yake, like bado hujaanza ku manufacture
na hiyo cost iko kwa vitu zenye unabuy, because when you're doing R&D you just end up buying parts and not end up using them. So kuna kuwaga na
patapotea basically.
Kuna kuwaga na shelf of shame mahali kwa lab, let me call it a lab. Vitu zenye umebuy zenye ziko in the wrong specification, maybe supplier lifuck up mahali, bearing size zenye ulibuy it's the wrong size, because in between wewe kubuy kitu na wewe kuanza kuiassemble, ideas come hapo katikati. So bearing size changed because you realize, oh shit, this won't fit here.
Had you mentioning you have a spot now where you actually, it's a workshop?
Yeah, I had to build a workshop because itabidi tu nimeseparate. Niko nafanya hizi vitu kwa hao. Kwa esto na wase kwa esto, no
oil and stuff and okay, there's
no oil,
lithium batteries.
Well, they don't know about those dangers. Information asymmetry.
Symmetry.
But now you see, when I'm driving it around, people start getting concerned about, oh, my kids, you might hit my kids. It's making noise even though it's not. Middle class wanakuwa tu na hizo matabia.
Hata cost.
They're still middle class.
Okay.
So uendeshe tu hiyo ni past 5
cost wako a bit.
So your workshop is at nini?
Even when the kids are not around, they're in school. Na ni mimi peke yangu kwa esto naendesha.
Cheki utaumiza mtoto wangu wewe na hiyo gari wewe.
But only the feat that you have accomplished. Ndai.
Acha nikwambie, hii ni umbea sasa.
Nitakuitia paka wewe maana hiyo lithium battery wewe.
Hii ni umbea sasa. Kuna day tuli have an estate meeting and that was one of the topics. That I'm driving that thing too fast around the estate and there's kids, and then the rest of the guys, so ni chairman wa estate anasema hivyo, and then the rest of the guys I'm like, wanamwangalia wanasema, first of all, he doesn't even drive it when the kids are around. And secondly, this is a cool thing. It inspires the kids.
Yes, exactly.
They love it.
Me was a kid saying that.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
In fact, they used to come very close. Mimi nilikuwa nawaambia wakae mbali because when you're dealing with something like a grinder, the disc might snap and cut somebody very bad, you see. So nawaambia kaini tu mbali kiasi. But they used to come and ask me questions, I answer them.
Yeah, true.
You probably inspired a lot of them.
Yeah.
Their parents were just a bit, they took their own needs to heart.
So the workshop is far from the house?
The workshop is like 3 kilometers from the house.
But it feels nice to have like a spot where you just go.
Yeah. You can just go and do your thing.
Do you spend a lot of time in there?
Sijapata hiyo chance, unfortunately. Kuna kitu inaitwa capitalism. Remember, I'm still a software engineer. I still have to pay the bills. Yeah, so me, I only appear there maybe once a week, twice a week, here and there.
So is this that is it just you ama you have?
No, I have a friend of mine who tunaendanga huko once in a while.
Is he part of what you're doing?
Ananisaidia tu. But most of the engineering aspect, the thinking aspect, nimejipata. Unfortunately, wacha niseme hivi, I would really love to have a team, but I don't have money to pay you. I don't have money to pay.
Sasa tunataka kufanya roho mkunjufu anaweza kukuhit.
Kama unaweza show up, mimi si atinda kutoka huko mbele tukianza ku make do. Show up sahi cause sahi ni entry level.
And how about
Bitcoin size?
Sahi mimi ni Bitcoin.
Yeah, in fact that's what I want to ask.
Mimi ni Bitcoin in 2010. I'm Bitcoin in 2010.
At least mazee mimi niko na shares hapo kwa hiyo Bitcoin.
Uko na shares?
Mbashira kuna shares.
Uko na shares hivi?
Yeah, niko nataka nikuuzie size.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask because many of these Americans I don't know how they do it, but they have a way of fundraising, seed capital. They have venture capitalists who invest in the thing, and then I don't know what they do. I don't know if they convert it to shares as the company grows. Do you have a similar system?
Hey man, being a solo entrepreneur is difficult because now you split yourself between the business aspect of it and the engineering aspect of it. It's a very lonely journey, to be honest. Like I said, I would love to have a team, somebody working on maybe business aspect of it. Kama naenda kutafuta do, kuna maybe 2-3 guys who are working on the car, and then there's someone else at the workshop because bado kuna kazi inaendelea kwa workshop and I can't split myself that much. Unakumbuka ukiniuliza story ya podcast, it's because of all of these things, and still I'm a dad, I'm a family guy. There's all of these things going on.
And then I think another problem is some guys invest, then they think you'll get the money at the end of the month.
Immediately. No, hiyo do yako itarudi.
Check engine imefika wapi wewe? Check it.
Hiyo pesa yako itarudi sai. Me give it something like 10 years.
Or maybe it may not come back.
It might not even come back by the, but you will see where it went. You will see where it went for sure. Mimi sina haja ya pesa haramu. Haitanisaidia anyway. I don't want to keep looking over my exactly. It just rubs off on you. I don't want to keep looking over my shoulder every day, you know. So yeah, if you can join me, just show me something. Show me some effort, cause me kitu yenye naeka hapa ndani ni effort na do yangu. I have skin in the game in this thing. You see,
Is anyone else doing the thing that you're doing?
apart from the students at UN and Strathmore, not that. Okay, yeah, there's a guy called anaitwa Maui, akona YouTube, akona Instagram inaitwa Ndudhika.
What is that?
Pia yeye anajenga hizi mabuggies. Hajengi really go-kart. He calls them go-karts, but they're really buggies. He's doing it and he's actually quite expanded. Yeah, ana focus on mashule. Anapeleka hii he calls it what, motorsport engineering brought to schools or something like that. Na kuna traction poa sana.
Anashare nini
Yeah, anashare knowledge yake.
That's dope.
I've seen a guy who does wheelchairs.
In Kilifi,
I don't know if he's Kilifi. I just
there's a guy who does wheelchairs.
so
in
electric.
Oh, electric.
Yeah, wheelchairs. So he just some of them even look like buggies, like
Nani?
3-wheelers.
Wendo kuna simu yangu.
Elon.
I think Elon Musk amesikia maneno ya nini.
So who inspires you, Maz? Do you get is there anyone who you look up to?
Myself.
Hey.
Damn, you guy myself, bruh, Maz.
The champ looks up to nobody.
No.
Even kina Elon Musk don't.
What they do is inspiring. Who they are might not be. Because I've just answered your question the way you've asked it.
Yeah.
So what they do is inspiring for
True
sure.
that.
But again, they're doing it with large numbers of very smart people. Very, very
They have
smart
a
people.
team.
A lot of
unakumbuka problem yenye nilikuwa na describe earlier. There's a lot of engineering talent that is being squandered in the country because you guys want them, you employers want them to work in a food factory. Okay, but they're not the ones who design the conveyor belts, the packing system, the flipping of the bottle, the packaging of the can. They didn't design any of that. Then they're just coming to kuna bolt fulani iko loose pale.
Damn. And that's a full freaking engineer, man.
That's a full freaking engineer, man.
Doing rote tasks. So that's how to flip our economy into like the next level.
Definitely. We need to move into manufacturing.
Is that what the Chinese did?
They did it.
How do you think they pulled it off? Putting STEM in the forefront?
Yes, there was that, but also there was a lot of trauma in their country because of some drought that they experienced, I think in the 1980s, if I'm not wrong. Because the China you see today was built like in 20 years.
Yeah. Like even the opium.
Even the opium thing.
A series of years.
You've never noticed
like
that
the years of shame.
Yeah, exactly. You've never noticed that the only place opium exists is US.
Opioids.
like the real drug issues exist in the US, Europe. It's always these first world countries that have these problems.
It was actually used as a weapon by the by UK, like towards China. Like they flooded, and that's the same thing China is doing to the US right now. Like just fighting
because Chinese walikuja kurealize the most important asset the country has is the minds of the people. It's the intelligence of the people, and just make sure that these people can actualize their ideas. Millionaires are made in China every day, and it's from the most mundane of things.
Those
are we manufacturing nail cutters in this country?
Nah, we all
manufacturing peke yake. Like
I think the manufacturing meonoko ni nails
iko
chain link
and
but now you sort of import the equipment from China.
Let me actually, now that you mentioned metal, since these cars are built of metal, right, the factories that are available in the country, kuna Doshi na Devki,
chuma ya Doshi
na Devki, which is along Mombasa Road. I don't know which other steel factories are around. Even if you go into their websites, maybe it's a byproduct of all the construction that's been happening since Kibaki came into power. But even if you go into their websites, most of those steels are not automotive grade. So when I actually when I finish my design process, I have to import steel from China. I have to import a very specific diameter, very specific chemical composition steel of tube from China. Why?
The bodies of say mood, they're made by just regular sheet metal. What do they?
Mood. What's mood?
As in this mnganyas.
Fiberglass and
inaweza kuwa fiberglass ama chuma, but hizi ni chuma zenye zinatumika. It's what's called construction steel. Yeah.
It's not like automotive grade.
Automotive grade kuna steel fulani itwa like when it comes to tubes kuna kitu inaitwa DOM, drilled drawn over mandrel, and then there's something else called chromoly. So chromoly is the best because it offers the best is the best option to go for whenever you're building something like a sports car, because it offers the best stiffness to weight ratio. So where I would use a DOM tube of 3.14 millimeter thickness, 1 inch tube, 3.14 millimeter thickness. In chromoly I can use something like 2.5. I can go very low because it's a very stiff kind of chemical composition.
Ductility.
Ductility, yeah. It has less ductility.
Unifanya actually literally.
Mazei poli meweza you guy. You guy my next trick will really pitia. Check ductility. No.
It's very ductile.
No, that's
So
really
and then even the guy who was telling you mwenye anaitwa Ndudhika, shout out to him, but he's doing a very amazing
Shout
job.
out.
When you're inspiring kids, maze, you're inspiring a generation.
for real.
So maze, let's go back to manufacturing. Now umse anatumia something called black pipe. Black pipe is very readily available in the market.
true.
But black
Nani aliname hizi vitu?
that literally flew over.
Ukiona vile kulikuwa na moment of silence. Okay, nani atapiga hii joke? I know it's readily available, but mine is ductile and dense.
And stiff. So
Achana na hiyo ya China.
man, that's a bit too far, but
Then to tell you've been cancelled from all the feminist movements.
you'll be cancelled very easily.
UN women umemaliza.
Okay, so
Tutakata hiyo lakini. Tutaikata tu post.
everything that you need has been said in this podcast, by the way. Everything that you
is
need.
crazy.
Yeah? So black pipe is primarily, it's designed to be used for fluids, not structural components.
Okay.
So when you're building a car out of black pipe, you're endangering the driver.
Is it like the ones used for electricity? Unaeka?
No. It's not like a plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just a steel, but it's not really meant to be used for automotive use.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's an endangerment aspect of it, which I'm trying to design out of my process, so that whoever is driving the car and is doing something like 240 kph is confident that if this thing rolls over, he's not gonna die. Very important.
Anyone else has another question, you guy?
Okay, me I think.
What do you think of gas? This is going different way. Unaona magari siuza gas.
As a supplement,
As a supplement.
yeah, like they add like a
I tried following up on it.
Is it actual gas?
Yeah, it's actually LPG. Yeah, it's actually LPG. Again, I don't think I have enough knowledge to say it's either good or bad, but of course zile videos zenye mta watch YouTube about people who've done this, they'll tell you they have fuel savings. But there's an extra combustible fluid in your car, so
that's more risk.
So I don't know what the risk versus benefit analysis
someone who does these reviews over a long time, like that would be really cool.
Over a long
like
time.
Someone who's studying something for 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
But now I guess that's why guys need funding to maintain.
You need funding to maintain such things,
Did you
because
see this guy who did research on fuel and then akasema ya Astral ndio safi? Uliona kitu?
ule mchinese
Yeah.
Astral.
Yeah.
Alichukua za every nini.
Alikuwa na some fuel measurement
Sample.
device akaenda around nini.
Kuna mwingine anapimanga mazema mwa mzinga moyo unausha. Hiyo inakuanga ductile hiyo stuff.
Ashaipima county.
alipima county was the worst.
For real, you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Like what
Fuel.
was the metric ya kupima?
Ndio sijui alikuwa anapima nini.
akona nimsewa hizi ma medicine something internship walitoaje wasewa KEBS and standards so kuna something that when you give it time enough to show
The
So
proof.
versus what is written.
Even like the percentage of alcohol hapo ndani pia.
But since we're in the science realm, kuna wase wanasoma something like biomechanics in UAN. Kuna wase wanasoma forestry, agriculture, botany, all those interesting science things that are not applicable here. They do end up working in I think places like construction because environmental impact assessment, vitu kama hizo. Bill Gates afai kutuletea hizi GMO zao. Tuanzie hapo. You guys are responsible for protecting our seeds. No get your point. Hizi mbegu za matunda. Protect our seeds. Make sure hizi seeds iko well documented. If anything else, if kama umeboeka, do that.
Yeah, do that only.
Seeds will not cost you to collect, and you even come up with things like policies on how to store them properly. Locally ziko, but they're run by the government. I'm talking about open sourcing something like this.
Private individuals.
Yeah, private individuals has.
There's people who have, like I know of women like in Kajiado who have a seed bank that they just started recently. So it's a recent thing they're trying to build up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You guys. But the allegedly these big companies are trying to discourage storing of seeds.
Yes.
Through legislation. Like they're trying to legislate things like that it's illegal to
ati sharing, hata kushare. Ati nikichukua mbegu zangu nikupatie tu upande kwako. Which is, I don't know why white people are just so fixated on world domination, as opposed to we can all help each other in this world.
It's them, they want to come among us.
It's cause we have superior things. We don't have superior skyscrapers or superior manufacturing capabilities.
Yeah, but we have superior.
But the thing that actually makes us live as human is superior quality of air.
Yeah.
Food,
soil,
yeah. Members of the society, black pipe. You get like nizi vitu zenye walisha erode in their own cultures. Wanatusikilia
they wanna hold now for themselves.
We have the minerals,
still
raw materials
iko knowledge. Maze you're fixated on that black pipe.
Sioni counter offer officer, hiyo ndo kazi yake.
So for me I think even if you're planning on ending, for me the parting shot is vijana wacheni kufocus on software. Software market is very saturated. Now for you to compete in that market, you actually have to know a lot and to have done it for a very long period of time. On the flip side, hardware is equally as complex. If you're looking for something complex to do, hardware is, trust me, very complex, and also gives you a chance to touch what you're building. You can't touch a website that you built. And then that's why there's a disconnect between unapataga devs wanashinda wakiflip between frameworks, mara sijui uko Django, mara uko Vue, mara uko wapi. All these are just software platforms to use to build products, to build software products. But for how long are you gonna keep that hop, skip and jump? Because at the end of the day, sahi tumeanza kusikia stories za AI, which apparently Kenyans are training, but we are not building. So even these AI conventions that mnaona around, those are just business. Those are just sales people trying to sell you a product or trying to onboard you onto a product. Don't buy it. Are you getting my point? If you're not building, you should not be concerned with it. If you're not building it, you should not be concerned with it, unless it's a building and you're living in it. I mean, there's levels. Okay, there's limits to what I'm saying in terms of if you're not building it technology wise, you shouldn't be so concerned with its impact. its impact will come. I mean, we weren't the ones building the internet, but it blew up in the 90s, in the 2000s. Now we are using it. Everybody's on board. Unfortunately, to only dance. Man,
a lot of people be dancing out here.
People are chapping in real time.
Too many people are dancing. Too many people are dancing.
What is dancing?
Sikuzombo.
Too many people are dancing.
Dancing
Not all of you can become entertainers.
Dancers.
So there's this other industry, or let me call it an industry, that is very neglected in the country, that inaweza flip this country to first world level operations just by doing manufacturing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we skipped that stage in our country.
We have a lot of traders.
Kuna a lot of traders, very many traders. Watu wengi kama wacha ni shed Cairo as much as whatever. Cairo anajua kumove pesa, anajua about gari, anajua about where to get this, where to get that. The fact that he has that knowledge in his head is why he has the money he has. Now on the flip side, kuna mtu mwingine akona knowledge ya engineering mwenye ajui kuiapply. Just experiment with anything and everything. It doesn't really, unaweza kuwa umepata tu hata kama ni screw mahali, figure out how you can make jewelry out of it. I don't know, figure out how it can fit in some space that you didn't think. Like, the purpose of experimenting is trying to learn how things work first hand. Hands on kabisa. Just make sure you're hands on kabisa, because software is not sustainable. I personally have been having a backache, apart from running around for my toddler. I've been having a backache for more than 10 years
because of sitting on your
just chronic back pain that you just get when you're just seated at a desk all day. What are you doing at the desk? If you're an engineer, you're an engineer. It shouldn't matter whether you're doing software, hardware, or I don't know which other ware you're doing. You can still use the same principles to think about different types of manufacturing you can get into. Me, I'm an advocate for getting into manufacturing 100%.
Must I get into manufacturing, bitch?
Yeah.
Bitch, manufacture.
Hii podcast tunafaa tuanze kumanufacture kitu.
Use your hands.
My mic.
Because we mbona hii mic unajua iko na nini?
Mics.
Unajua ifungua angalia mic iko na nini ndani you guys.
Sijai.
Na unaishikilianga kila siku.
But when do you engineer hapa you guys?
Sikendo kila mtu ni engineer. Wewe ni engineer? Not by profession, si umejifunza.
No, but I get you should be curious.
Yeah, we should create our own products hapa.
So you guys, this pod was really dope. I've enjoyed
shout
it so
out to
much.
you, man.
God I was around.
And it was actually short notice.
From 2 nimetoka coast side.
Bana.
You guys, you came for this moment.
Bana, this was meant to be.
So if guys are following you, they want to reach out.
You have a website too, isn't it?
I have a website, but it doesn't really have information. I think kuna email unaweza reach out.
So you're not on Instagram, right?
I'm on Instagram, but I'm not an active user because
okay.
me, as in, I'm a human being at the end of the day.
Mianga tu memes huko Instagram.
Kuna memes tu zitanipata ni lose concentration on what I'm doing, so I try not to want to use it much.
Okay. Black Pipe at Gmail?
Raspberry Black Pipe.
I should. Sawa, fanyeni hivi. You can reach me at Eugene, Eugene. I know some people spell Eugene with an I. Eugene at Huskberry, HUSKBERRY.com.
Utaandika sindio? I think it's easier that way.
Ataandika tu akifanya hiyo.
Check mimi nikiwatch pod, so EUE.
We can talk about batteries, we can talk about automotive engineering, we can talk about anything engineering. Just bring the topic. Black pipes.
They can also follow your YouTube page.
You can also subscribe to my YouTube page, which is Huskberry Engineering.
All right. Mazi, cheers for coming through. Meweza sana. I think we love you. I think we've just goes at the surface. we'll be calling you
this is
tunapiga
just the
hizi vitu.
surface. Some of these things are difficult to explain when you don't have a physical model.
You can even talk to your workshop one day.
Yeah, mazee.
Muone tu ni nini na
Do you remember us planning this podcast lakini ilikuwa ina hata?
Ilikuwa na hata sana.
Hata tukiwa coast we were supposed to go.
Ilikuwa na
But I
hata
don't think
sana.
ingeweza kaa leo. I think there's just a moment for
Kila
things
kitu
to happen.
again, there's enough randomness in the world to guarantee that something happened and it's not witchcraft.
Nduta mazee
The fact that there's actually a measure of randomness.
shout out to your buddy.
My buddy yako hapo hivi, mazi
Ken.
tumekuwa na umse tangu high school.
Yeah.
Tumekutana tangu high school.
That's dope.
Tokea hapa bana,
Chiki,
tokea hapa
ona-
hivi.
kucha uoneshe hiyo.
Yeah, by the way, I can nafaa hata this is my reporting time by the way. Unaweza ingia you guys muendelee kuni.
Wote hapa hivi bana.
Shout out to you guys.
No, Bashir, let's just finish because
Songea tu tukae na wewe.
Wacha Ken aonekane.
Sijui unavaa kusema nini but
No, just tell me guys for
Haya,
a
fanya
few
intro.
seconds.
Ati ndevu yako
You guys
unaekanga
have been
nini?
friends since high school.
yeah.
You're a chef, right?
Yeah, I'm a chef.
I think we'll organize. I tell you what we do, Nduta. We just organize another pod. You're in Nairobi, right?
Yeah, I'm in Nairobi.
Yeah, you organize
Kino
another
is in
pod.
Nairobi, yeah?
Huh?
Kino is in Nairobi.
Yeah.
By extension.
I think I know is in it.
Yeah. So we'll organize a
Chef.
pod. You
Hebu
come
fanya
to-
intro kwanza, jina watu wakujue.
Ken.
Jina na biz.
Jina ni Ken Chenenje.
Ken
Ken Chenenje.
Challenge.
Watu wachokengi na hiyo.
Yeah,
Ni
lazima.
kama vile
How do you guys
nikisema
know each other,
Eugene.
three of you?
Yeah.
How do we know each other? Eugene is the connector.
Oh, okay.
actually used to come for comedy at Blues.
All right.
Eh.
Oh, you guys met at Blues?
Hey, that's a
Damn, you
while.
guy. So did you guys kick it off? Like, I'm an engineer, you're an engineer.
No,
Yeah,
not really.
electromotor.
Chapa tu story.
Oh, okay.
Chapa tu story.
It may I think you guys
Tulipatana
were
kwa
pals
bus
for
stop.
life. Bus stop?
Tulipatana kwa bus stop. Nilikuwa najua Bashir tu but hatukuwa tumepatana naye.
Oh, msee alikuwa amekwambia stories za Bash, ama?
really, but see-
tulienda wedding yako. Alafu tukahata basi mimi na Bashir.
Oh, so mkaanza kuongea eh? Take ni aje?
Ilikuwa awesome though.
No, but shout out to you guys. I'll definitely have you back so that we have a proper conversation. And then shout out for coming through and shout out to you guys with your from high school friendship.
That's dope.
High school.
Hospital Hill High School.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
Back then it was mixed.
Oh, damn.
If you know, you know.
Hey,
So you
good times,
guys
man.
know to swim.
Yes,
Ilikuwa the only mixed public boarding school in Nairobi.
Hiyo ilikuwa the
Hey.
primary version.
Hamkuwa na swimo?
Hatukuwa na
Hatukuwa na swimo.
Primo ndo ilikuwa na swimo.
Oh, high school. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. I didn't hear the high school part, man. Primo, wewe ulienda wapi Primo?
Nilizunguka bro.
Oh, hiyo ni utapiga kwa pod.
Topic ingine.
Nilizunguka
Where mazi?
bro.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Nduta and George and
Jorge.
Eugene. I wasn't there initially and I was feeling a bit low, but I'm feeling quite energetic right now. Keep following the podcast. It's doing really, really well, Nduta.
Yeah,
We have many new guys who have joined in.
Yeah.
Did you got any background?
Imetuadisia wase kadhaa.
Hii background ni moto
Awesome,
sana.
by the way.
Ni awesome. man.
Cheers.
Kusikia ningine wakisema mwosha Bashir sana kweli.
Hapo Bashir ameoga sana.
Limuosha sana.
Hapo ameoga sana.
Sikumwekea nini.
Alikuagesha man.
Kuwekea hiyo chain.
So karibuni sana to all the new Nziges in the building. Remember to become a member of the podcast from $1.
$1.
Yeah, man. But shout out to all of you. See you guys on the next one. Bye bye.
Thank you.